What's going on, guys? I'm Degidio. We are back with another episode of the JAXXON Podcast. And I just want to remind you guys, we just dropped a brand new collection of diamond cut rope chains and our brand new Cuban 8mm and 10mm. A little tongue twister. And I just want to let you guys know they're sweat proof. We have brand new clasps. All the clasps have free engraving. And if you guys use promo code podcast15, you get 15% off. Just head over to JAXXON.com. Pick yourself up a brand new chain. We are the #1 men's jewelry brand in the world, trusted by some of the top celebrities and athletes. Today, what we are doing is we are diving into the top 10 great. I don't even know how you're writing notes. What you writing notes about?
Hey, can we talk about him writing in perfect cursive over here? Rampage writes in cursive.
I learned how to write in cursive.
It's really nice, Rampage. I'm not gonna lie.
But they're getting away with cursive. I'm still.
I don't even know what you're writing, but today we are doing the top 10.
I don't even know how to write cursive anymore. I don't think.
What?
I mean, I learned it in school. I was like 3rd grade.
How could you forget cursive?
Can you show people your cursive? Because it's real nice.
Yeah, I got good handwriting.
Yeah, he does have a great handwriting.
But I just can't spell shit though.
Oh, you can't?
No.
I mean,
But when you write in cursive, it just flows.
Yeah. You fuck people up. You like, you just like.
You don't even know.
Oh no, that is nice. And we're doing the top 10 greatest UFC fights of all time. We're gonna run through them. We're gonna have some of the top UFC athletes of all time, like Rampage, Luke, and TJ, break it down for you guys, give you an inside look of what they think, how they look at fighters, how they look at technique, and kind of give you guys a little bit more MMA juice today. Sometimes we get a little carried away. We talk about Rampage's adventures to Japan, and I know some of the MMA community want to hear a little bit more about fighting. What? You don't like that?
No, come on, man. We own these fighters. You know what I'm saying? I've done what I was going to do in this sport. We talking about these great fighters, people like Robbie Lawler. You know what I'm saying?
There we go. Then let's start off.
Like Shogun Rua and Dustin Poirier.
But Dustin Poirier is American. Those other guys are. And Robbie Lawler is American, but you're doing the pronunciations like they're...
But that's how you say it. That's how you really pronounce Dustin's name. Poirier.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Like Poirier? Him and Alex are the...
I don't know how to pronounce that dude's name.
I mean, you did a great job with Dustin.
Yeah, that's how you pronounce his name.
One more time?
Poirier.
Yeah, sounds amazing. It's not bad.
Yeah.
So we're going to kick it off. We're going through the top 10 fights, so we hope you guys enjoy it. And we have #1, Robbie Lawler versus Rory, part 2. I mean... probably one of the greatest UFC fights of all time, if not the greatest fight of all time.
I mean, if you're into violence, that's for sure, right? It was a very bloody, violent fight. Very memorable. I mean, if you remember the post-fight speech by Lawler and his lip is just split in half.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like screaming and it was like hard to watch the TV because his lip was just falling off his face. This is the heyday of McDonald when he was just a killer as well on top of his game. It was a sick fight.
Yeah, the Canadian Psycho.
Yeah, man. I mean, he
all prepped up and everything. He'd like walk around. DC told me a story. They were walking in the streets of Toronto and like they were going to another event together. And there's these like little hood kids like on a corner in an alley and they like talk shit. They were like, there's a bunch of little gang members and like Rory was like ready to go out there and like get after him. And DC was like, no, like trying to pull him away. Rory was trying to get in the middle of some gang fight.
Man, I'm tell you something.
He's
Robbie Lawler, he's always had that dog in him. I remember I cornered against him one time. Tiki fought him.
Yeah, that's right.
Tiki fought him a long time ago.
Yeah.
Tiki was doing good though. Tiki was kicking his leg. Tiki got some good leg kicks. That's why I made Tiki got some good leg kicks. And he pulled out a Hail Mary and knocked Tiki clean out. I felt bad for Tiki, man.
He got KO'd?
Tiki got KO'd by Robbie Lawler
But you talking about how
heavy hands.
McDonald is like a psycho. He's like his interviews. He was like a serial killer in them. You know, like
McDonald?
Really?
Like the way he was like answering questions and how he would just like no emotion, just stare down the camera and give his answers. It was.
You have to be a serial killer to rock a mohawk like that.
Yeah. He had no emotions when he do stuff like
Yeah.
Yeah. He might be a serial
Just
killer.
no emotions, and you're fighting for like
Yeah, man.
world titles and not showing any emotion. I mean, he was dangerous when he was.
Listen, I'm glad you said that because you never know who could be a serial killer. Man. We all got to watch out. You got to watch out. George, what is that? George Washington. You know they found. Y'all know about y'all. You heard about that?
No.
Hey,
No, I didn't
listen.
get George Washington.
The first president of the U.S., George Washington?
I
Yeah.
can see it.
Okay.
I can see it.
Or
You
was
gotta
it
get on top somehow.
George Washington. Hold on. Let me see. I might be wrong. George Washington. our first president. He came over from England, right?
No.
Right?
No.
My history's
Benjamin
I think
Franklin?
he came over on the...
I might get him mixed up with
Came
Benjamin
over on the
Franklin.
Delaware boat.
Who
No,
was
I mean,
Benjamin-
George
who-
Washington's he was from England, yes.
Yeah.
They all came over.
Who was Benjamin Franklin? What was he did? What did he do?
Yeah,
What
that's
did he do?
him. He came over.
Okay, so look, one of them motherfuckers, y'all know my memory's bad, but when they came over to America, Y'all remember what was the name? Jack the Ripper back in the day? They were looking for that motherfucker.
That's in the UK.
You're right. He was killing all those people and stuff like that. And when they moved over, is it George Washington or Jefferson, whatever the motherfucker? Which one? My memory bad.
know.
Y'all look this up. Benny, look this up.
Check
Look
my
which
history.
one.
I wasn't prepared for this.
Listen. When he moved over to America, all those motherfuckers murders stopped, and they never found that motherfucker.
Where did you find all this out at?
Because I read.
Okay.
I can read on TikTok. Anyway.
You write cursive and you read.
Yes, right. And then they found bodies up under his house when they remodeled his house. They found a bunch of bodies, and then somebody said, "Oh, he had cadavers because he was doing like medical stuff."
Yeah,
and but he buried the bodies, and they said he was probably Jack the Ripper.
So you think Benjamin Franklin was Jack the Ripper? Is that what I'm hearing?
It's probably Benjamin Franklin.
Can we check that out?
Can we look that up? Dive
please?
into that, but that is a very unique conspiracy.
It's
It's completely 100 years later, though.
Yeah, but.
I mean, 1776 when the country was founded, Ben Frank was already like 70, 80.
Yeah, look
and
it
Jack
up.
the Ripper is like
What?
1800,
Look it up.
1880. That's 100 years later.
Yeah,
right?
but look it up. They found bodies, remains of bodies up under
Yeah,
his
but we
house.
just proved the theory's wrong.
What?
You can't live for 200 years, my brother.
What was the other one then? It was two different people.
All right, listen. Robbie Law, hey, great.
He might be a serial
great
killer.
insight.
He might be a serial killer. All the blood on his face, he don't care.
How do you breathe with your nose busted open like that?
His mouth's wide
Luke
open.
knows.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah, his mouth is wide open.
Yeah,
That's the Luke
better pray you're
Holocaust
not
right there.
at altitude.
If you watch when this fight gets stopped as well too, like McDonald's lost so much blood by the end of it. His face is pale. Like he looks whiter than he is now. Like just ghost.
That guy's got to be one of the toughest dudes the UFC's ever seen, right? Robbie
He's
Lawler?
definitely tough. Oh, Robbie Lawler. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean both of them are amazingly tough. You know, I mean.
That stare down they had at the end of like one of the most legendary things. I don't
Before
see
the
I don't
last
see-
round, right?
Yeah, when they just walked up to each other and just
Fucking mangled and
fuck
staring
you,
each other down.
fuck you, just like that.
Right there, right
It's
there.
insane.
Yeah, it was right there.
His face reminded me of the day I made a mistake and got my red wings.
What's that mean?
I mean, look at that. You don't know what that means?
No. What's that mean?
I'm not going no
Same
farther.
wings as Tony's got on his back?
Bear doesn't know. He's
Hey, is that the same wings Tony Ferguson's got on his back?
Yeah.
but nope. Nope.
Okay, right here. Hey, Luke, you were talking about when we were at the fight, about the Holocaust fight, when you got your nose split open, that there's nothing you really can do. You're trying to gas for air. When you're at like this point in the fight, obviously there's a 5-minute rounds. How do you even try to get through it as a fighter? Like, I can't put myself in that position. I've never had my nose broken.
I mean, you just go on autopilot and you better hope you got a good gas tank because when you can just breathe through your mouth, it's like, I mean, just imagine trying to close your nose and just run down the end of the building here. Just
With blood
it's,
running down the back of your throat.
even
I'm
just
sure,
breathing, just sitting here talking. It's
Yeah, I can't
you
imagine.
imagine it's such a process.
The worst thing you should do is blow your nose when you get like that, though.
Yeah.
Never do that.
Why?
It
Your
swears
eyes
your
will get
eyes.
swollen.
Yeah. Unless it's at the end of the fight and you're blowing it on his face.
There you go. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I saw you
That was
rubbing.
nasty.
I was like, yeah, you're gonna blind your opponent. If you're fighting to the death, it's like the guy's holding tight. I was like, your last resort. I'm just gonna blow my nose. I'm gonna blind you. I'm gonna blind you. Then I'm gonna try to kill you.
Can I tell you something? I've seen many fights for over so many years. That was the nastiest thing I ever seen in a cage. And I seen people shit on themselves. That was the nastiest thing I ever seen in a fight.
You know, at the end of the, I blew my nose, and like I came back up. I was like, I literally had like a BJ Penn moment where I was thinking about licking it. I was like, I started licking. I was like, no, that's gross. I got.
Did you do that?
Hell no.
He's been tested. You're good. He's been tested.
Why you gonna lick your own blood off another man's face? If you do it off your gloves, okay, BJ Penn, you know, you caught the blood. It would have went viral still today.
I caught myself. Pulled back.
I'm glad you did.
You've never licked blood?
I mean, you ask about like your nose and hurting and not being able to
told
breathe and stuff. Like Luke said, you go into autopilot, man. You don't have a choice. We've trained our entire lives to win, and you just kind of block it out. Like when I fought Sandhagen and I blew my knee out, like completely blew it out in the first round. Yeah, that shit hurt, but you just got to put it in the back of your head, forget about it, and go. Right? I mean, if you're an ultimate competitor and you want to win, that's just what you do.
You know when I gained a whole lot more respect for you was your last fight with your shoulder. I saw your shoulder come out in training and nobody said nothing. That's how much.
Really?
Yeah, that's how loyal all the team was. Nobody said anything. I saw his shoulder come down. We knew, and I was like, how in the hell are you still going to fight? But when you kept fighting and stuff like that, you mess yourself up worse by doing that.
I know. I'm mad at myself for it now, but at the time it was kind of like coming back. I'm fucking 36 years old. I'm fighting a guy that I don't think's very good, and I thought I could really beat him with one arm. And I knew if I was going to pull out of the fight, I was going to have to get surgery. Never knew if I was going to be able to come back from that surgery. And
have that opportunity too.
Yeah, right. Had the opportunity to fight for a belt. I said,
Good
"Fuck
point.
it, dude."
He's kind of like me. I don't like pulling out.
And it would have been different, dude. It would have been different too if like my situation was different, right? Because like I got suspended, I lost my belt from that suspension. I came back, had a gnarly fight with Sanhagen. If I would have like just been not have suspended and like ruined my fucking legacy and all this shit, I probably would have pulled out of the fight. You know what I mean? But I wanted to reprove myself. I wanted to prove myself of who I was and what I could do. And it was like, fuck it, I put blinders on.
But why you didn't go get stem cells? You the first person that told me about stem cells. You remember what Panama? You went to Panama.
Yeah.
Then you went over to Bio.
Yeah. I mean, it was.
Is there a difference between Panama and BioAccelerator?
They both do the same. Like they do the same stem cells, the mesenchymal stem cells, the way that they culture them and they spin them. But I'd say BioAccelerator's experience is pretty dope because you get to go to Medellin as well, right? They have it set up really nice to where it is like a vacation when you go there. It's like a wellness vacation, and those stem cells help. They help a lot. They actually kept me together when I was fighting Garbrandt, and because I had 2 fully blown out shoulders, my supraspinatus weren't connected whatsoever. But I didn't want to get surgery because I wasn't the champion. I needed to fight Garbrandt to get my belt back. So if I pull out, like I'm losing my chance. Right. So I said, fuck it. Went and got stem cells, held myself together for as long as I could, and then won my belt back kind of thing. So they do help, but this last time it was too far gone. Like my fully torn infraspinatus, fully torn supraspinatus, shoulder was dislocating, on the regular, at least once, twice a week towards the end of camp. It was like nothing that stem cells is going to help, Yeah,
there's got to be some kind of connection point.
Yeah,
for
it's not
it
gonna
to pull it back. It's not just going to like reconnect life.
Exactly. Yeah.
So number 2, we have one of the craziest fights, Rampage. I'll let you say these names.
Oh, what's the names?
Look at your list.
Number 2, we got Joanna versus Wheelie Zhang is.
What about Jonah's last name? Can we get
But how come we only got one? How come one girl only got one name up here?
I didn't think you'd be able to say it, but it's on the TV. It's the right name.
Yo, J-Shaq.
Zabashekish.
Jean-Michel Shakespeare.
Yes, very close. So this was a pretty viral fight and pretty crazy because of a lot of the imagery that went viral after the fight. But in terms of the champion Zhang sitting there and just banging in the middle, Luke, we talked a lot about how fighters, especially female fighters, their striking is so important. You were talking about Mackenzie Dern and her striking this weekend. What do you notice here about the way they were striking it when you were reviewing this?
And the durability too. I think that's what a lot of, we don't talk about women they're durable. They get in there and they bang. I mean, they might not have the most power, but they put on the best fights. Sometimes it's just such a back and forth.
You know what? My coach said that women, they fight with so much emotion. And that's why a lot of times you get 2 girls in there and they really want it, and it becomes a exciting fight a lot of times.
100%. I see that. There's Wei Ling just sitting down on all her power, and then Joanna just kind of mixing it up. She's got such a dynamic attack, so it was really interesting to see how they work together.
Yeah, I never met either one of these girls, but that Joanna girl, she just seems like she's like a bully, that type. She when she went against Doug Rose, she was like kissing her fist or something, did something to her. I'm like,
she used to do that back in the day. Like every opponent, she would come down and mess with them every time. Like she always had something at the weigh-in. She'd get in their face. She'd
I understand you trying to sell it, but then you get your ass kicked. Then
Yeah.
But
Right, you don't like bullies?
no, I hate bullies.
I mean, that's not who she is as a person. I know her, and she's awesome. But when you get into that competition phase and you're right in front of your opponent, you want to do whatever you can to psych them out, right? And if it's me getting aggressive, getting in your face, that's what I need to do.
Yeah,
right?
but I agree. You have to do something. Like we all need to do something. But
you don't have to. But if it makes you feel better about your chances, you know what I mean? Then you got to.
I feel like in the sport you have to do something to really promote yourself and sell yourself. Because some fans gonna like it, some fans not. Yeah. And I was like one of the fans, like I'm going for it made me go for the other fighter every time.
Okay.
Did you want to watch?
Hey, I watched.
Did you want to watch?
She did a job. I wanted to watch.
Was that the girl that you told me you were into?
No. Oh yeah, that's the girl, the Asian girl.
Yeah.
How you say her name?
I'll let you say it.
Wing Chun Lee Zhang.
Has there ever been a time where you preferred a white girl over an Asian girl?
Yeah.
What about it? What about the Honda Center this weekend? That girl came up to you and she said, "Hey, can I take a photo with you?" And you said, "I think I know you." And she said, "Yeah, you do know me from Sutra." And then you were like, "Oh yeah. Me and you were in the back."
No, I don't remember.
Yeah, you do.
You making up stuff.
Okay, I got the video.
I had some good times
Cap.
back in the day.
That's a big cap.
That's a big cap.
I look
Is this the fight where Joanna gets that big, the big knot?
hematoma
That
on
thing
her
starts
head.
growing. Oh,
Yeah, she grows like a whole
right
nother
there.
head.
That little shot.
what
I think
is
you're right.
what does the knot come from? Like the bruised
It's
tissue?
the blood. It's the blood inside. So she got a hematoma on her forehead, and so the blood.
what?
A hematoma.
A hematoma. It's like cauliflower, basically.
It's where
It's a compression and the combustion of all the like cystic fluids that blow out, and they blow into hematoma.
Do it stay like a cauliflower?
An
forehead?
auricular hematoma.
No, it dissipates.
It dissipates?
Yeah, it'll disappear. It just takes time, right?
How come the ear don't dissipate?
Well, because there's nowhere for it to go.
Nowhere, yeah.
It's there's like it's not a very vascular spot. Your forehead, very vascular.
Did somebody ever invent like plastic surgery? Once you guys retire, you can get it.
You can get a new ear.
You get a whole new ear.
Oh my God! Remember Sakuraba's ear fell off?
that's
Fell
right.
out.
I was there.
Marius Romskis.
I was
fell
there
out?
too.
No, it fell out.
It
It
ripped.
literally like where the ear connected to the head, the cauliflower blew out within that space, like all the blow up. It pulled from the ear socket, and it was hanging, just flapping in the wind.
The crowd went crazy. I was there. People was crying for Sakuraba. You know,
Would you chew on that ear? I mean, he like chewed on cauliflower.
No, because you say you like
Yeah,
cauliflower.
you chew on
that's
the
a
cauliflower.
great
Yeah,
point,
I'm
Luke.
just saying.
Luke makes a great point. You said you love sucking on cauliflower ears. When
No,
you were
that was just those girls.
No, I was
those
thinking he was
judo
just saying
girls.
he liked cauliflower pizza. That's
I
what he
do-
was saying.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Rampage, you
cauliflower
know, you ain't that ain't cauliflower
Yeah,
pizza
yeah,
up in there, dog. That,
Man, hey, I'm losing this belly.
No, you look great. You look like a model.
cap.
Oh, look at this is where it's starting to build. Yo, hey, this is where it's starting to build. Hey, so at this point, does your corner, does your cut man, your coach, do they tell you like, yo, chill on getting hit in the head, or
I mean, they always don't want you to get in the head, right? But it's like,
That's a world title fight on the line.
Oh
yeah,
my God.
yeah. I mean, I'll
I forgot about that. She was like an ogre.
rip my arm off. I don't even care. I'm going to keep fighting,
And so here's what the other thing: the girls, like the flexibility and the dexterity, they just keep coming back. Like their exchanges are so intense. Just there's just so much combination.
Ooh.
Yeah, this fight was sick.
You think they got fight of the night?
100%. Yeah, I know they did.
How much is that bonus? You ever got that bonus
It's
before?
$50K.
is it 50K every time you get fight of the night?
Remember, it
It
reached
used to be
100K.
70.
It reached, it got 100 for Jake
UFC
Shields and
2.
GSP.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah,
Jake Shields GSP was 100.
It dealt with the gate. And then that stupid kid Brian Caraway came in and I said some dumb shit and like
That's
that
right.
politically
I
messed
forgot
the whole
about
thing
that.
up. And so they used it as an opportunity to just regulate it. And it came back to 50. It was growing.
Yeah, so it used to
It was
be
on the- it
70.
was on the verge of
It
doing
went to
something.
100 and then it was back down to 50.
Yeah, because it would be based off the gate and off the show.
Yeah, I got a ton of those bonuses.
Did
Yo,
that?
yo, I'm looking at this photo right now of Sakuraba's ear actually falling off. And it's one of the most disgusting photos I've ever seen. He literally has an ear that's separated with just blood everywhere, tissue everywhere, cartilage everywhere, and it's just hanging. It's just flapping like this.
Welcome to MMA. Bear.
Wow.
Nice that you finally arrived.
Wow. I am not
welcome.
built for this.
Welcome to the table, baby.
Yeah, but you got to think about your ear, dude. It's like there's not very many nerve endings in it. It's not going to hurt. I mean,
I'm
yeah.
sure that hurt.
I mean, it sure hurt.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
When you're in a fight, you ain't going to feel that shit.
let's call up Holyfield. You got his number? Actually,
Yeah.
did it hurt when Mike Tyson bit his ear off?
Oh, man.
Barry got his number. Barry's friends with Holyfield.
That's gotta hurt. I can't call him and ask him that in the middle of the day.
Is that-
It's Monday morning at 10 a.m.
Is it disrespectful?
I mean, yeah. We can't do that. That's
It
crazy.
was
I
just a
mean,
thought.
look at his reaction. Like, you haven't seen somebody react like that in the
Him
fight.
and Holyfield-
He's jumping up and down.
Yeah,
he immediately
yeah.
starts jumping up and down like,
It's gotta hurt.
That had to hurt.
Hey, listen, right here, TJ. This is what I want to ask you. So that she obviously keeps getting two-piece to the wig right here, and you could see the forehead just like growing. At one point, does it just pop?
No,
Yeah.
it won't pop. Your skin can stretch so far.
you can see Wale's left hook just keeps
I mean, it
hitting.
gets so much bigger than that still. It'll continue to stretch.
But this is a magic question though. Do y'all think this fight should have been stopped a long time ago?
No. It's a title fight, dog.
But then that girl face can be disformed for the rest of her life.
It's a hematoma. It's nothing like...
It probably make her look better than what she was. I'm just saying.
No.
Oh my god!
She's fully capable of fighting. Like she's like there's other fights
Yeah.
that shouldn't have stopped a lot earlier.
100%.
You know,
Yeah.
Well, listen, I can
Pat
say.
Berry versus
Yeah.
Chet Congo. Like
Listen, I'm the ugliest guy at
That's
the table.
like
I
the
can say
craziest
something.
if that stopped early though, remember that fight? That's see, these are all competitive fights. All these are the top 10 most competitive fights.
Yeah.
These are not the top 10 best fights in the world. These are the most competitive. I mean, you got like great fights like you have BJ here first. Remember BJ versus Diego Sanchez? That was incredible. BJ Guida, that's sloppy.
BJ
All
was
these are
going
sloppy
nuts.
fights. Like
No, but-
I like just violent, killed, like just strategic fights. Those are the fights I like. I think are the best.
So this girl's head, does it hurt for the next week? Like, can someone explain to me how you get a head that just swells up that big? Like, does it just go down?
I've never seen that.
I've never seen that.
I mean, who's the other Canadian fighter that got it as well? Shaved head guy, white guy.
Look at her forehead.
Mark Hominick.
Yeah,
Hominick
got
got
a
Jose
big one.
Aldo.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he got a big hematoma.
That was a great fight.
That was a really good
He
fight.
came back and won the 5th round.
Yeah. He lost the whole fight, but won the 5th round. Yeah.
Yeah.
Luke really be studying his fights.
He's a
I
fight
just remember good fights. Good fights. You
Well,
know
I mean,
what
at the fight this weekend at the 298, Luke was literally sitting there watching everything, and then he's like dissecting it to me, and I was like, damn, dude, watching a fight with someone who actually understands martial arts at the highest level is one of the coolest experiences, because he's like breaking down everything for me. Like, you were even yelling at the same time, like, oh, didn't have his wrestling. Oh, like, it was a much better experience sitting next to people that know
you
fighting.
know, another sick fight that should be on here. That was actually it was competitive until it wasn't competitive was you versus Brawl. When you started putting it on him and started setting up those left hands and kicks and everything, it was just like he dissected him.
I appreciate
And that was sick.
All right, number 3, we got Shogun Rua versus Dan Hendo.
A little history right there.
It was a good fight. Great fight.
Yeah, these, like when you guys brought this up and you're going to say the top 10 fights, these are my first answer. This is my first answer of what I would have put this at number 1, but I was also in the arena for this fight, the one in San Jose. This fight was just, you weren't in your seat at all the entire fight. It was crazy, dude. It was a sick fight, back and forth, both getting their asses whipped. So close to being stopped so many times on both sides of it. It was, in my mind, the best fight I've ever witnessed personally.
It was like you said, you weren't in your seat.
Yeah.
Me and DC were sitting next to each other, but we were on each other both like the whole fight. We're like just back and forth. It was just, we were freaking out.
This is when you were AKA, right?
Yeah, it was AKA. This is up in San Jose.
Yeah. Is it weird that I've never seen this fight? I fought both
from a guy that fought both of them. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's your weight class. You fought
Rampage.
both.
Rampage was
Maybe something you should be paying attention to.
He was streaming. He was
Playing
gaming.
Call of Duty.
He was gaming at the time.
Are you any good at Call of Duty?
Yeah, I'm a man.
Yeah. What's your KD?
I don't look at that shit.
All right.
Who is the underdog going into this fight?
I don't know.
I mean,
Probably Dan.
do you think Dan put it on him? Dan beat the crap out of him. Then he started. Then Shogun came back later, and Dan just
Dan's
survived.
tough.
That's what I mean. Like, this fight could have been stopped right here, right? Like, but then the roles will be reversed, and I think Shogun mounts him at some point. And,
Don't be giving it away. I haven't seen this.
One of the most watched fights in the history
I
of the
won't talk
UFC.
about it for the next 15 minutes, so we can watch the fight, and then we'll talk about it.
You know what? I think we should do another one. We should do another one of these with top 10 craziest fights.
So
Craziest fights. That just crazy shit happens, and then. You know, a lot of these fights are just long fights. And some of these fights are the Pat Barry versus Congo fight. It's just something that everyone has got to
How
relive.
do you rate Shogun's jiu-jitsu?
He doesn't show it much. I know it's good. He's a black belt. He's trained with Felipe Del Monica. I'm sure it's good, but it's something that he doesn't use. Right? It's like he wants to strike. He wants to be crazy.
It's like pride good.
Yeah.
Wait. Don't you try shit on pride, man.
why?
We had
Hey, I'm
we had the
just
best
saying.
fighters, and we
Why you
proved
say
it.
pride good like that?
I'm just saying, like, the sport grows and people get better.
Oh no!
No, listen. No, hear it. No, listen.
Hey, the UFC
These are
Hey.
sensitive subjects.
Yeah, hey, listen here, young buck. Listen, pride. We had the best fighters, the best rules.
You guys have
we had to keep
great
people,
fights.
We,
I'm
keep,
just saying
we kept
that-
the wrestlers honest. We knee you to the head, you mess up. You know, so you get kneed in the head, you mess up a shot.
I do
And
like
your
the pride
grappling had to be
rules.
good in that ring.
Pride
do
rules
like
are
the pride rules.
pride rules are nasty. I just think the jiu-jitsu was it's pat. It wasn't that great back then. The ground game, the wrestling was great. There's good wrestling. Good.
That's your opinion, and you're entitled to it. But
Oh, this was a 5-round fight. That's right. That's when they started doing these main events for 5 rounds, because this wasn't for a belt.
No, it wasn't. It was a main event.
yeah.
One of when they first started doing 5-round main events.
Yeah.
Dan would have preferred 3.
This fight, yeah, 100%.
he was older than already.
He was like, hey, the 4th and the 5th round, he was just sitting there on survival mode.
Hey, the 4th and 5th round MMA makes you a man.
I love
That's
5-round
test you.
fights.
Really?
Yeah, but can you imagine fighting for 10 minutes?
I would
10
love
minute
that.
round?
I mean, maybe one day
Yeah,
we
we were
will.
real-
Maybe one day we will.
yeah.
Maybe
Yeah, we was real fighters. 10 minutes?
10 minutes is amazing. Yeah, I think rounds are mess up fights a lot of the time. It's like,
Well, that's why they'd always get
momentum.
stopped in the first round, right? If it's 10 minutes go, like you have greater chance of stopping that fight.
Yeah, you know what?
that's a crucial point. That first 5 minutes where you get that first break, then you come back in, you reset. So it's like
Most of my fights, I remember I finished them like 6 to 7 minutes. First round, most of them.
Yeah, like one thing about Hendo, and I think a lot of the younger generation that watches MMA fights don't understand, like these style fighters, I don't feel are like the current style fighters. I'm not saying they're the current style fighters are any better, but this is a much more banging
that
fight.
uppercut was so nasty.
Like these guys just sit there and bang.
No game plan. No game
Yeah,
plan.
no game plan. Like they're brawlers, dude.
And when you're fighting Hendo, and you know you're just looking out for that one shot, you know what I mean?
Hey.
That inside leg kick, overhand right, like
Just
it's
the
coming every
H-bomb.
time.
Can I tell
Like,
y'all? Can I tell y'all
you know you
how
got,
I
like-
beat Hendo? Are y'all interested?
Like,
in
no,
that?
I want to know how you
love
set
to
up.
hear
What's your strategy on setting up? Like, look, because you know he's just coming in with that shot. He ain't gonna. He's got everything
His
else.
takedown.
His right hand.
His right hand.
You think he's gonna take you down? Did you think he was gonna take you down?
My cover and roll. I have the best defense in MMA.
Cover and roll.
You go back and watch the interviews. He was worried about it. He was trying to figure out how to defeat it. And he couldn't.
Yeah.
But how I beat Dan Henderson was I knew it was going to be a dogfight because I've trained with him for years. So what I did was I told my coaches in training tell me the last 30 seconds and tell me the last 15 seconds. And every day in training, I picked it up the last 30 seconds and the last 15 seconds. I knew I had to steal that round each time at the end because it's going to be a dogfight. And when I was running and training, I was at the last end of the run for 15 seconds. I sprinted balls to the wall. So in the fight, I
like that.
at the last 15, I still had shit in the tank.
Muhammad
Just
Ali his ass.
Put it on the judges.
Yeah, that's what Muhammad Ali would
And
do. Last
that's
30
the only way.
seconds,
That's the
just
only
go
way I
for it.
won that fight because it was really close.
Nice.
But you mentioned something too right before that. You said you were touching on what I was talking about, how these guys just brawl, like no game plan. Just everybody would sit there back then and just sit in the middle and bang. Why is it not like that anymore today?
Dave Jackson. That's when I stopped watching MMA
Well,
Why?
it's because
because they were game planning too much. That's when I stopped. I used to watch all the shit when Greg Jackson was his fucking
Yeah,
name.
game plan. Too much game plan. Too much
shit.
talk. Too
I
much
was like,
psychology.
I'm like, when he started this, a lot of people started doing it. I'm like, I'm out of here. I said, I don't want to be a part of this MMA. I did the interview a long time ago. That means y'all ain't my real friends and y'all don't watch my shit.
I mean, as the sport continues to evolve and there's more money in it, there's gonna be more game planning. The same way you watch the NFL, and it's like to see those guys, how much tape they're watching, how they have group meetings. Like when there's more money involved, there's more coaches, there's more game planning, there's more ways to increase your chances of winning. Right. Anytime that happens, it's what's going to evolve the sport.
But it watered down the sport. And look at how fast
How do you think it watered down the sport?
Because look at it. Okay, so when I got involved in MMA, it was exciting because two men stepped inside a ring or a cage, and they went toe to toe and they fought.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and if you guys ever pay attention to my fights, even Tank Abbott said this to me the first time he met me. He said, "Rampage, I watch you fight. I love your fights." I said, "Why? I didn't know you watched me fight." He said, "Yeah." He said, "One thing I love about you, as soon as you get in there and the fight's on, boom, you walk right up to that motherfucker and you fight." I said, "Yeah, because I'm here to do a job. I ain't getting paid by the motherfucking hour. Fuck this shit. Let's get it on." You know what I'm saying? They don't do that shit no more. They dance around the motherfucking ring. They fill each other out. They go against their game plan. Then the bad thing about game plan, because shit don't go according to your game plan, you fucked in your head mentally if you ain't strong.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
If you're not well rounded enough to switch your game plan.
But some people, they get stuck. They because you do a game plan your whole training camp, and then that's what you fixated on.
Yep.
Me, I ain't game plan shit. I like figuring them out while I'm fighting them. I
Yeah.
didn't even watch tape. I don't want to know.
So there's like two different ways to look at it, right? You're talking about the old school days. Those are like more of the violence fans, the guys that just like to see knockouts and people getting hurt.
We
beat up,
have
bloody, right?
MMA on our backs. We put MMA on our backs, and that's why
100%.
y'all
These are
motherfuckers
two of the guys
Couldn't
right
agree
here.
more. Couldn't
Two of
agree
the
more.
guys that put them on their backs and they're putting it on.
But now it's the fans of like playing chess, right? Like what technique is going to work the best? Is this guy going to be able to come out and use his jab and pick someone else apart? Or is this wrestling is like, we're talking about Rob, like how's he going to use his MMA wrestling compared to actual wrestling? Like there's a lot more chess now and
Yeah, okay. Let me break. I understand what you're saying. Listen, I agree with exactly what he's saying. So let me break this down. This is what we did back in my day when we didn't really game plan. But when say I'm fighting you, we the same weight class, and you really good at wrestling. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to fucking try to use my stand up to fuck with your wrestling. I'm gonna set up my wrestling. I'm gonna take my takedown with my hands and stuff. Say I'm fighting him. He's really good at kicks and stuff like that. I'm not gonna have a game plan. Oh, he's really good at striking and kicks. I'm gonna take him on his back. I'm gonna take him away his power. Why fight him at his power, right? It wasn't no game plan. We just knew like, okay, he's really, because back in my day, they was only really good at one thing. Then they learned everything else, right?
Yeah.
So you had to fight this guy. Oh, this guy's a striker.
Yeah,
So
but why going into a fight if you know someone's good at kicks? Why wouldn't you game plan my entire fight camp? I'm gonna block and counter. As soon as this guy throws a kick, I'm gonna sweep out his bottom leg. I'm gonna block. I'm gonna throw punches. Like, why not?
No, because I'm gonna take his ass down. I'm gonna beat him up on the fucking ground. He's good at kicks. He's good at striking. He's going on his back.
No.
Did you train the power bomb before you did it against Ricardo Arona?
I used to do it all the time.
In training,
I just used to do it. It's like
you would just do it to your training partners.
I would pick them. I would pick them up.
Rampage,
you wouldn't slam him.
No, I wouldn't slam him. But I've been power bombing people since high school wrestling.
Hell yeah.
It's on my Instagram. The one that got filmed on freestyle is on my Instagram.
Oh really?
Yeah.
You don't think your training
freestyle?
partners didn't appreciate that?
No, I wasn't slamming them. I would pick them up, but some of them weren't dumb enough to hold on to my head. If Ricardo or Rona would have let my head go, I couldn't have done nothing.
This is Rampage training.
Yeah.
Rampage doing his bob and weave, little Muhammad Ali. All right, so what we got for number 4, we have Forrest Griffin and Bonnar. This is probably one of the most iconic UFC fights of all time. Saved the UFC. And if anybody knows anything about the UFC, this buildup from the show to the fight is probably the most prolific thing we've ever had.
This put UFC on the map.
Yeah, this is what made UFC an actual league.
Really. UFC was actually finna fold if this
isn't a hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Spike TV bought in.
But that's why they love Forrest. That's why they love Forrest.
That's why Spike TV was so mad when the UFC left him.
Yeah.
Why is that?
And then they got with Viacom and they put all that money into Bellator and they just did whatever it took. Yeah. Viacom was pissed because they left him for the Fox contract.
Wait,
loyalty.
what happened? Spike TV.
So Spike TV put all this money in investing into this thing, and they were losing a lot until this fight, and then this fight put the whole thing on the map, and then when that deal was up, they wanted to renew, and Fox was an opportunity, and the UFC said, "Fuck you, we're going to Fox."
I mean, you can't blame the UFC.
You can't blame them, but then but Viacom took it
loyalty,
they took it very offensively, and then that's when they put millions and millions of dollars into Bellator.
But sometimes there's loyalty that'll to a fault, right? Like say, okay, Spike built us. If I stay loyal to them, like what's the path of success afterwards, right? Rather than UFC is built into what it is now, being shown on ESPN and how big it is. I mean, it might have gotten that way with Spike, but I feel like the way they did it was for sure the best business plan.
I understand what you're saying, but think about this though. They grow together, then UFC do a deal when they get super big and they own a piece of Spike. And then now they own their own platform as well. Instead of like now
Viacom's big money.
Yeah, they could have been smart enough to is that a good?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Like they could have done an equity deal where they basically buy into the league and they all became one. That could work too. That would have been an amazing deal. Nowadays we see that with streaming. These streaming platforms own the shows, they own the network, they own the content.
See, I stand on business.
This is Rampage. He has a new cap on these days because he's prepping for a Shannon Briggs fight. So he turned from Rampage a fighter to the Rampage manager.
When is that fight?
June 8th.
June 8th.
Hey, you guys want to be there? I know you probably have Sir. You want to come out there? I tell him to bring you out there.
100%. I'd love to be there.
If he can't,
That's
would
your
you like
new
to
sparring partner.
commentate?
Yeah.
With Zab Judah, if he can't, I offered him first, but he said he got a shoulder.
Yeah, I might have to have shoulder surgery in March.
All right then.
Yeah.
So going into this fight, guys, a lot of UFC fighters have their own opinions on Forrest Griffin, and then a lot of fight fans have. You don't like him?
I don't like him.
Stephen
You fought him?
I fought him. I'm gonna tell you why I don't like Forrest Griffin. Because he knew he didn't win that fight. Let's get Forrest on here. No, my fight.
Oh,
he didn't win this fight either. They should have gave it. If they wasn't gonna call it a draw, they should have gave it to Stephen Bonnar. R.I.P.
Hey,
That's my opinion.
Do you think this fight was that great? Honestly, you go back and watch it in hindsight. Like it's kind of it wasn't as in the moment. The energy that it gave and like the heart they have, but.
I think it was so great because of the first Ultimate Fighter build up to it, right? There was a lot of drama, a lot of attention. It finally put everything on the map. And then just as the finale, it being the best fight, I think it brought a lot of eyes and saved the sport. So that's why you put it up on this top 10, right? Not saying because it is one of the best fights, but because of what it did for the sport, it's got to be up there.
Who knows what Forrest? Y'all see what Forrest doing now?
He's working for the UFC.
He's working for the slap shit.
For what?
He
Is he?
He look like a
He's a
dork.
company man, dude.
He look like a damn dork, man. Hey, listen, y'all friends with that motherfucker. Tell him to take those fucking ugly ass sunglasses off. And why, don't
think he cares,
he took
dude.
my
He
belt.
embraced
He
it.
took my belt from me. How dare he go out there and look like a fucking dork? And people say, "You got beat by that dork."
Oh man,
He like a motherfucking.
Don't get me started on mine. I got
He
my
look like
own
a
problems.
motherfucking dork. Hey, somebody hit Forrest up and tell him take those damn ugly.
And the
ass
guy
sunglasses
beat me
off.
can't even fucking see straight. Man, he's got one eye.
He got the fucking sunglasses.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you went there. Bisbee is like a Conrad. He's like my brother.
Yeah, but then he wasn't, man. I let you get a little fun. I'm cool with Bisbee. We're cool.
Are you actually cool with Bisping still or no?
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
I saw you guys take some photos on the commentating booth. Photo went viral.
I was trying to blindside him.
Going to his bad side.
Hey, he didn't see me. I said, what's up?
So as we talk about the technique of Griffin, I know Rampage. I know you don't like Forrest Griffin, but
I can't stand that motherfucker.
but there was something about this fight, right? Like to the common UFC fan and the MMA experts. I mean, everybody has their own analysis of how the fight should have gone and shouldn't have gone, and what they did wrong and what they did right. But I'm just trying to break down at the time of, the sport, what was so unique about his fighting style.
His durability and heart. Yeah.
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 Yeah. Straight up, just like you couldn't do anything to him that wouldn't make him keep coming. And he's pretty durable. He's very durable.
I think that goes for both of them, really. I mean,
Yeah.
Stephan Bonnar, but I think Forrest was just a little more structurally together, which probably pushed him through in this fight. Stephan's just a little wide and wild.
When did board shorts become a thing in the UFC?
Well, they were. That was what you wore in the beginning.
Yeah, like how did that become the thing?
I think maybe
the
Chuck.
fight short.
I think maybe Chuck. He's one. And no. Mikey Burnett. You remember him?
Yeah.
He's a
I mean,
boxer
Tito
wrestler.
Ortiz had the board shorts.
Yeah, he did. But Mikey Burnett was before him. Bro.
This is the classic sprawl versus tap out fight.
I mean,
Do you remember
remember
sprawl?
that.
Was this
Yeah.
too young for you? Bro?
No, I remember Sprawl, yeah.
Sprawl.
Yeah, you had Sprawl, you had Tap Out, you had Hitman, you had all those brands at the time.
Can we have some of those old school guys on the show, like Mikey Burnett and all those different guys?
Yeah, hit him up, dude.
Pat Militich.
All you gotta do is
Militich
send
we
a
have them
text like,
as if
"Hey,
we're
this is
at-
Rampage Jackson.
Militich is
come
the
and,
shit.
Come and talk to shit with me."
Yeah.
See how easy that
That's all
is?
you gotta do, bro.
Sit here and have
No,
a little fun.
real talk. I hate asking people to come on the
Why
show.
not? They would love to
'Cause
talk with you.
I hated it when we was doing it, trying to get people. I hated it.
I fly my ass down from Sacramento to come down here and talk
Amen.
with you.
Oh, well, we homies. Though. We train together.
Amen.
We done sweat and I was gonna say bled together, but you got to be careful what you say around these guys. We trained together. It was pretty tough.
Hell yeah.
Keep it simple.
Yeah.
But yeah, you should hit him up. I think it'd be easy.
Me and Pat Militich, we used to be really cool. He's a good guy.
I like Pat a lot.
You know, what about Frank Trigg?
Oh yeah.
We get
Trig's the ref now, right?
yeah.
That's cool.
I'd like to get him on. And
and
Mark Kerr.
I didn't know this until I haven't been involved in the fights that much recently, but one of the judges was Lieben. I didn't know he was a judge.
Oh, for
Lieben's
real?
he's a ref.
Yeah,
Ref.
he was
ref.
a judge.
Is he
I
straight
seen
narrow?
ref too.
Oh, is he ref as well?
Is he straight narrow now?
I think so.
I remember he used to get drunk right before training. We talking about Chris Lieben?
Yeah.
That was the craziest guy I ever met in MMA.
He's for sure crazy. I mean, he was on this show as well. This finale's going on. I thought it was awesome that I saw him cage. I was like, damn, is that Chris Lieben? I didn't know he was a judge. I think that's awesome that they're bringing fighters in now to be a judge rather than some fucking 70-year-old woman that knows nothing about MMA. You know, it's like,
Who's crazy?
I used to love that one. There's an old 70-year-old woman. I was like, dude, I made the one for the California. I made best friends with her. I was like,
I'm sure you did.
oh my God, look. I was like,
I'm sure you did. Hey,
hey.
this is true.
she's always going to judge in your
Hey,
favor.
Moment of truth. Listen, I ain't gonna ask you
Hey.
nothing like that. A moment of truth.
The way.
Have you ever been a sugar baby?
A sugar baby?
Instead of a sugar daddy.
No, I've never been a sugar baby.
You never been a sugar baby? You never dated an old cougar with rich? Got
No, but I know you have.
Shit, I'm
That's
still
how
looking
he-
for one.
He's looking for one right now.
I like those old
Nah.
rich cougars, but they don't like me back. You know why? You know why I think they don't like me back? Because they're older and stuff, and they had too much pounding. They looking for an easy time down there now. They don't want the poundings.
They want Tyrone Woodley to go down there. Hey, they'll sign Tyrone Woodley
Yeah,
up.
they need
They don't want the what down
They
there?
don't want the poundings. They want to go easy down. They don't like, nah, you're going, like, I've been through all that. I don't want to get stressed out all over again. They want the easy time.
Something I got to ask you before I forget, because you just brought it up, is how Lieben was drinking before practices and stuff and how crazy he was. Did you guys see the video that Taporia did with Bisping talking about how he drinks a half a liter of wine on Thursday. So weigh-ins are Friday. Thursday night, he drinks a half a liter of wine to help dehydrate himself to make weight. He says obviously he gets hammered and he has a good time with his cornerman and celebrates and shit. Like that's wild.
Every time?
Yeah, he says on Thursdays he drinks a half a liter of wine.
Half a liter.
Yeah, that's 16 ounces.
16 ounces?
Yeah.
What's 16?
I mean,
It's a water bottle of wine.
the whole thing.
No, not that one.
No.
That's a liter. So half of that.
This is 16.
Right? You drink that much
This is
wine?
16.
Yeah.
I mean, that's...
if dude, you got nothing in
And
your
when
stomach,
you're dehydrated,
you're
you're
gonna be
fucked.
fucked up. I used to.
You
You
get
probably
lit off
close up
that.
too, huh?
I used to when I had to do when you're wrestling in college, you have to do a hydration test for whatever weight class you're going to wrestle. You have to be at the beginning of the year. You have to be at that weight and you have to be hydrated, which is nearly fucking impossible. You can't be on weight and hydrated at the same time. They make you pee in a cup, see how clear it is. So I used to cut weight and be 2 pounds under my weight class and then drink beer to get up to my weight. And I would get just fucking hammered, but it's a diuretic. So I'd pee clear. So I'd be able to pass my hydration test because I was drinking alcohol to do it.
Yeah, beer makes you drink.
Well, it's a diuretic, makes you pee.
Yeah, it makes you pee clear, yeah.
I don't know about how I feel about that because I don't sleep well when I drink, you know?
Yeah.
I drink
You
wine,
must
especially
sleep-
this much wine.
Cap.
He sleeps.
Hey, I don't hit that REM sleep. I'm just saying. Hey, REM sleep, Rampage.
Have you guys
So,
ever used
when
one of
you
those-
when you're driving me, when Rampage is like, hey, let's go to dinner. I'm like, oh, we're gonna go to Fullerton. We're gonna go to Marab's after party. I'm like, of all parties, we're gonna go to this Marab. No offense, Marab, you're the shit, but like,
I just
it's
went
not,
for the
it's
food.
not that's not the after party I'm trying to go to. And it was like 40 minutes out there, and then another like 40 minutes to the Korean karaoke thing. I was like, what the hell are we doing right now?
Bro, I went there for the food.
And then-
Lagos got the best Mexican food ever, man. It's clean.
Yeah,
It's
And
good.
they're eating there.
And
You
that's
gotta
why
go,
I'm
bro.
fasting. Fasting today. Rampage had like 10 courses brought out.
And you got a fight coming up.
No, I was fasting. I can eat like that. I only ate that.
We just talked about this yesterday, bro. He
They-
said he was fasting, but then there's a picture of him at the fights eating chicken wings.
Did you see the picture?
I'm really
Did you see the
fasting.
picture?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Show me.
I got it right
posted
here.
it.
I didn't eat no damn
He
chicken wings.
posted it.
I posted it.
That wasn't me.
I
You're
made
taking
you
a
hold
bite
the
of a
wing.
chicken wing.
I made you hold the wing.
Bro,
No.
we
Yes.
got served a plate of tres leches, 3 different massive different types of tres leches. I love tres leches, and I'm like, you got the chocolate, you got the caramel tres, you got the vanilla tres leches, and they're not like decent portions. I'm talking like one of those like gigantic like presentation pieces.
Yeah.
Did I have any
Damn,
of that?
dog.
Did I have any of that? That's the dessert you were talking about, right?
I don't know, but
I'm fasting, but I drink like 20 beers.
Yeah, I can drink beer and say I'm fasting.
That's not fasting.
not
There's a ton of calories in beer.
But no, I'm not fasting with food. I'm fasting with food. I mean,
It's still calories, though.
Do you not know the definition of fasting?
and this is only
it's like when you eat really fast.
You eat so fast, it'll just go straight through your body.
Yeah.
Don't gain any of the
It's
weight.
fasting.
As,
You know-
we,
you
as,
know
we,
what's
as
crazy
we
to
wrap
think-
up this fight right here with Forrest Griffin and Bonnar, one thing I do want to touch in, and TJ and Luke, I know you guys can give us a little intro on this. Like towards the end of a fight, when you're just clinched up with a guy like this, you have no gas, he has no gas, and you're giving it your all. Is there any technique that goes into that, or are you just surviving?
100% technique. And that's why I trained with Sam Calavita. And when I was training with Rampage, we push ourselves to the extreme, right? So everyone's going to hit a threshold. You're going to hit your lactic threshold to where it's going to rob oxygen from your brain. You're not going to think as clear. You're not going to be able to do certain things you're able to do at the beginning of the fight unless you train it. If you put yourself in that point, you become completely lactic threshold reached and you're so tired. You can't even pull your arms up. And then you're having to do like catching balls. Like we'll throw these fast ass rubber balls and you got to catch them and react while you're
look
tired.
at Luke's face light up when you said
Catching
catching balls.
That gets you excited, Luke?
These balls aren't wet
Cow.
though.
Okay.
These balls aren't wet.
Hey, I'm a witness to it.
Yeah.
My first time going to train with those guys, I'm not going to lie. I thought they was all nuts, crazy. The guy makes them train really hard, and then they get on a damn spin bikes type
bike,
thing.
yeah.
Was it a spin bike?
It's a cyclops.
Oh my
It's
God.
where you can control the watts and stuff.
That's the hardest thing. He make you do it for like 2 hours or something. If
Oh,
I-
dude, our workouts were brutal, but we only do them so many times a week because you have to recover.
That's
but
right, I remember.
the only way that you can push your lactic threshold is being in it. You got to get to that red line. You got to push your limits, and then you have to be able to use your brain while you're doing that. So that's why we're doing reaction time stuff and really training ourselves for those moments to where maybe I hit like a fucking hard ground and pound, a huge flurry, and you don't feel like you can pick your arms up. I'm going to take myself to the depths of hell, and if you're not willing to follow me, I'm going to fuck you up.
Have you ever gotten tired in a fight training like that?
I have gotten tired in a fight. It was before I was training with Sam.
No, okay,
Since training with Sam, no.
Oh, okay.
The most tired I've ever been in a fight was when I fought Rafael Assunção down in Brazil. I don't know why. I just got super gassed after that first shot. I squeezed a choke for a while and didn't finish it. That's the only fight I can remember to where I was like really tired.
Have you ever trained at high altitude before?
Not actually. Well, I've trained at high altitude, but I do an altitude simulator because training at altitude is actually not that great for you because you can't push your body to the highest extremes. You actually want to train at sea level, but then sleeping at altitude is not great either because your body don't recover the way it's supposed to. So what you need to do is use a fucking altitude simulator for a certain schedule to build the red blood cells you need for training.
You're just shit. And there's no way to spin it. It's shit.
No, I'm gonna tell you what. It's probably different for different people, but
it's not. It's the same. It's the same.
I mean, you spend a lot of the time up in Denver, right?
Oh, I've spent a lot of time in Denver. Yeah.
But a lot of the guys, like, man, I was up there, and you can feel like that.
Oh, you feel it.
You feel like an advantage.
It is.
You know what I mean? Like when
if you're gonna,
a lot of these guys come back and like you don't see these guys getting. There's a lot of guys up there doing it.
But if you fight at altitude, then yes, you should train at altitude, right? To an extent. But when you're training at altitude, like I can train a lot harder when I'm breathing better oxygen, right?
It makes sense, yeah.
Because you can push your body to a way more of extreme. You can work out longer. You can work out and you recover faster.
All you got to do is go up there. It's going to take you at least a week and a half, 2 weeks.
2 weeks, you're 60%.
To acclimate to the.
I'm telling you right now.
To the high sea level, right? High elevation, right? Let me get this out. Let me tell you.
You're wrong.
No, I'm right.
Hey.
I'm talking about my experience. I'm not talking about your experience.
Okay.
After I fought Sakuraba,
Science.
After I fought Sakuraba, I came home from Japan and went immediately to help Tito train for his fight. I can't remember who
Big Bear.
And Big Bear. I can't remember who he was fighting. And they threw me right in there just because they had been up there for a while. They was acclimated. I wasn't. They made me do sprints. And sure enough, I kind of like had a panic attack and stuff like that, and I fell out. Long story short, I did the whole camp and everything, and I had another fight. But it was 2 weeks after everybody left. So I still had that cardio from the mountain for 2 weeks. I went back to Japan. I fought this guy named the Diet Butcher, Alexander Atsuka, and I fought him in a pro wrestling event. It wasn't Pride. And you can look this up. I fought him, still 10 minutes, first round, and they thought I was going to get tired like I did with Sakuraba. I didn't even, you know how you fight and you get tired and you can still go? I didn't even get that feeling. I could go 100 miles per hour the whole time and didn't get tired my first time training. And it was 2 weeks after, and everybody at Tito's, you say like, no, you're going to leave you after 4 to 7 days. Mine stayed for 2 weeks, and I swear by it, and I like training high.
So I think everyone's body chemistry is different. How you adapt and how you hold will be different. Obviously, I don't like Fabricio doing. I actually hate the guy. I think he's a piece. But he did it right. He went up when they fought in Mexico City. He went up there 3 months in advance, and this is what you're talking about. If you're fighting at altitude, you go there specifically for that time and that fight. Me and Kane went out there. I went out there 2 weeks early with Kane. We thought we could adapt because Kane's cardio was so good. And it was so sad to watch him go in there, and like the emotions were high, and he fought a little intense in the first round, and his body just robbed him. And like I was working with him a lot, and I could feel like how that oxygen, when it doesn't get to your muscles, you feel like you're drunk. Your brain's telling you something your body won't do, and you're just falling to the form that it is. And so Fabricio was able to pick him apart. He did exactly what he needed to do, and they had that advancement. I think when they had the World Cup out there, the soccer teams would go out there like 90 days in advance or something like that. They all trained out there. And so I'm pumped you brought that up, because 2 weeks actually will hinder yourself more than actually benefit you whatsoever. It would have been better for him to show up 4 days before the fight, because your body goes through this shock, right? So within 2 weeks, your body is now not resting. You're building more red blood cells, right? So as your body's building red blood cells, you're not recovering. So within 2 weeks' time, you're only 60% acclimated to that altitude. You really need 6 to 8 weeks to become 100% acclimated. So if you're not going to go do that 6 to 8 weeks, you're better off showing up 4 days, 5 days before the fight, because your body's not going to go through as much shock, because he's working those 2 weeks. There's no way he could have been recovered in time, you know? Maybe that's why I showed up to Utah 10 days in advance.
Yeah, not good.
Why is that good?
Fuck that one up too.
Yeah.
And I broke my nose.
If you ever fight at altitude, you got to let me know, dude. There's an amazing product I can put you on for.
I don't really have the urge to fight at altitude.
Yeah, it's not fun.
Wait, why don't you like Verdum?
Verdum tried to steal a girl from me back in Strikeforce. I had. Hey, he's a scummy dude. No, I wasn't at all. It was my thing for the night.
We boys now. You can tell me.
That was my thing for the night.
So why you care if he tried to steal?
Yeah, why are you so emotional?
Well, because it was like
the principal.
All right, no, it was like we were out at some club with Hendo after party, and we were getting into the limo with Hendo and Fabricio. Fucking loud, annoying dude. Him and his coach. They literally like pushed me out of the way, and I was getting in with this chick, and I was like younger at the time with Strikeforce Challengers. He was, he had done it a little bit. I was still fucking vibrant as fuck. But anyway, he pushed me out and then we got in the limo and he's like trying to grow up this girl like a fucking scumbag. And we get out and I'm like, whatever. And like she's like looking at me and we get into this after party. They back in us in this after party with Hendos and his group. And I'm waiting in line for the bathroom, me and Greg Savage, I think from like Sure Dog. And then Fabricio, I see him coming from my way, all drunk and idiot like with his coach, trying to run past me like I wasn't in line for the bathroom. And I literally just stuck my arm out. I was like, nope. And I had blocked his ass, and he's like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" I'm like, "Get in line, motherfucker." I'm like, "This ain't your show." I was like, "Who the fuck you think you are?" He's like, "What you think you're an asshole? Like, why you asshole?" I'm like, "Fuck you, motherfucker! I will fucking kill you right here, right now."
Over a girl?
I was like, no, it was just a principle of like him, like, dude, I let that go, and then he was just trying to walk all over me in the bathroom.
That's why he tried to.
I was like, I'll fucking put you to sleep right now. He's like, you know what he said? He's like, my coach will take you out, put you to sleep. Your coach, motherfucker, I'll put you to sleep. Let's fucking go. And I was on him, and then everyone got in the middle and broke it up, and then he bitched out, and then I got the girl and I took her home.
Why you touch sensitive subjects like that on him?
So anyway,
no, because I'm trying to figure out what he's thinking. How come you didn't pull the Ian McGregor and just share the chick with him?
Oh my God, no one does that. No one does that.
Y'all could have moved in together.
No one does that. Stop. The guy just had a fantastic fight. He doesn't share.
Fantastic fight.
That fight was garbage.
That was the worst fight in MMA.
That fight was garbage.
Are you playing the heel now too,
He doesn't share. He's the heel. I'm the peace mediator.
He lost that fight in every way, shape, or form.
You're high.
I don't think he lost, but it was a horrible fight.
Well, you obviously didn't watch the fight. You're
You
high.
didn't think he lost?
No.
Not a chance.
He did more damage.
You can't just run at
He
someone.
did more damage on these heels. He ran back the whole time.
He ran the whole time.
He ran the whole time.
Bro, you can't just run at someone and think because you're going to run at someone that they're going to score you.
Yeah.
Come on, bro. You got to
No,
actually.
but here's a real question, though. Here's the real question.
No. I think we watch it again. I think we all watch it again.
But here's a real question.
Let's break it down.
Here's a real question. How in the fuck you got my chain on?
Yeah. Jackson's making these now, bro. They're going to sell them.
How in the fuck?
Everyone's going to be walking around howling and shit at the moon.
You gave him my chain. Why you give him my chain?
Because I look better in it, dude.
Because you're wearing Luke's jacket.
I'm taking this shit off because you showed ain't. This motherfucker is tight.
Leave it on.
What's
it's better because it covers you up. You look great.
What's that?
Big guy and little
no, big guy.
Fat
No,
guy. In a little
Can we get that?
I said,
What's that? What's that? With the black sheep? What is that? What's that movie? What is it?
He said it. I didn't
Like
want to
David
say
Spade?
it, but I was about to be like fat guy
Tommy
and
Boy.
a little.
Was
Was it
You never
Tommy
seen
Boy?
that?
Like
Yeah,
black
that's
sheep
why
though.
I
I think it
was
was.
going.
You've never seen that?
That's where I was going with y'all. I said big and y'all saying fat.
Right.
You
Was it the
shouldn't
one
be
where he's running
emotional
for
about
office?
your weight. You should be comfortable with how you look.
I'm a heavyweight now.
No,
I
you should
spent
be.
most of my career.
Wow, my guy's been working out.
Look at it. Don't call me fat. Look at these guns.
Damn, you look jacked.
Oh yeah, we were talking about fights.
Here we go.
About this. Number 5, Diego Sanchez versus Clay Guida.
Shout out to Guida.
I don't like Clay. Hey, I don't like Clay Guida.
Why
How could
not?
you not like Clay
Why
Guida?
not?
I'm gonna tell you why I don't like Clay Guida.
He's like the nicest guy in the world.
Fuck
bro.
Clay Guida. Same reason why he don't like Verdun.
He
Clay
stole a
Guida,
chick from
one time I
you?
was in,
He stole a chick from you?
He tried to. He's a fucking hater. I used to be cool with that caveman looking motherfucker. Listen.
Clay Guida is
I flew
seriously
these two
the
girls.
best human being ever.
No, fuck him now.
No.
I flew two girls, and they were white chicks.
You guys, I
That's
was
your
gonna
first
say, you
problem.
guys
No.
definitely like Asian chicks.
Yeah, that's your first problem.
I could see that for sure.
No, they was white chicks.
Clay
One was
Guida
white
and
and Mexican,
Rampage.
and she was like pretty much my chick.
who would've thought
I
Rampage
flew,
would be
I flew her into Chicago when I was fighting, and they was in the elevator, and they came in. He came in. He was hitting on her, and she was like, "No, I'm Rampage's girlfriend." He was like, "Fuck Rampage. I do this. I make more money than him." He's just hating on me like he did.
He
always,
did not say
I
make
promise you.
I need
never
confirmation,
say that,
Cap.
bro.
Man, I'm telling you what the girl said.
Oh yeah, well,
They
they're
both
trying to
said-
gas you up to spend more money on
Oh, drop with
come
a
on.
head kick.
And we gotta get on these fights a little bit.
So
Those
this fight,
uppercuts.
this fight was 0 defense, all offense by both of them, dude. There was
Jesus.
like no concern, toe to toe, just throwing punches. The only time punches weren't being thrown was when
Flying
Clay was like
knees.
combing hair out of his
Beat
face.
Clay
you know?
Guida's ass. Diego.
Yo, Sanchez with the flying knee straight to
had-
Guida's face. That's gotta hurt the next day.
Yeah.
Why
Was
do you
this
so
was this
stiff?
before the yes?
Oh yeah,
Was yes man?
Yes. Yes.
yeah. That's when he started losing his mind.
We got to do walkouts too soon. Best walkouts.
Why do you so
that's a
stiff? Why
good
you throw
one.
punches so stiff like that?
Best walkouts.
Yeah, that is crazy. Yeah, why does he not just rotate and his punches just come straight off the shoulder like
Who?
Diaz. Diego.
that?
He's,
Diego
he's
Sanchez.
like a robot. He's a robot. He's just.
I mean, he was a wrestler, right?
Got it.
So like he learned striking as a secondary form of martial art. So you know, you can't expect him just to be a world beater in striking from the get go.
You was a wrestler, and your punches are fluid. Like, you know what you're doing out there. You look like a motherfucking kickboxing and shit.
I trained my ass off for it, and it took me some time to learn it, right, with the right coaches. But also I'm a wrestler that's also an athlete, right? A lot of these wrestlers get away with just being like strong go getters. Like you don't have to be the best athlete to be the best wrestler. Some of the like the Metcalfs of the world are, you know, they're not super athletic, but they're really good at wrestling.
How long did it take you to get your striking down?
To where I was like really confident with it, I'd probably say like probably like 2013. I started fighting in 2010, so 3 years.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
When I started taking Muay Thai, 9 months later, I knocked a motherfucker out in K1.
Hell yeah. In 9 months?
9 months.
That's dope.
I remember saying it. I was so proud of myself. I was like, after I walked out of the ring, I was like, 9 months. 9 months. I only been training Muay Thai for 9 months. Then I look back at it, I was like, what the fuck was I saying?
What happened in the next fight? So you just come back looking for the same knockout?
Yeah, I got addicted to knocking people out. And then
Did it work with you or against you?
It worked against me really because I wasn't really slamming people that much no more.
You fell in love with knocking
Slamming
people out, and then you
people.
turned into Rampage, bro.
Rampage
It's awesome.
loves
Chasing
slamming
people.
people.
But I love slamming.
He loves slamming people. That's his favorite thing to do. He loves slamming guys. That is Rampage's thing.
I'm about to slam these nuts.
Why do you think this must be why you guys can get along so well?
Rampage. You and who?
I mean,
You and DC?
that's where it all began, right?
You and DC, because you were telling me that you loved wrestling. You would drive 6 hours just to wrestle with DC all night. Right? Is that true?
Me and DC lived together.
Wow, even crazier. Wow.
I didn't have to drive anywhere. He'd drive me. He'd have to drive me.
Last night he would drive 6 hours to go wrestle with DC all night.
No, I just make him drive me.
So you and DC was in like a little entanglement?
You know, I'd cook. I'd cook in
Why
the
you go
morning.
overboard?
I'd
He's a
cook.
world champion.
I'd cook. He'd drive.
Why you not treating with no respect? World champion with a belt.
Man,
You're
y'all,
talking about him and DC being an entanglement.
man, y'all young motherfuckers, man. Y'all just different. That's all I gotta say.
Why you bullying Luke? Poor Luke. He's such a nice guy. You can't bully him like that.
Him and DC the same age.
Oh, wow.
Are DC the same as me?
Wow. You see how
I
he
think
did that,
he
then he
like,
looks straight at the TV? He
Yeah.
thinks he's slick, right?
Says that?
You see that? He looks at you, and then he looks right back at the TV. He thinks he's slick. Like TJ, jacking your chain. Don't get mad, bro. We're all here for you. You don't have to tune us out. You know what I mean? I know it upsets you, but don't get mad.
I'm just out here trying to podcast.
Oh, now he emotional now.
I'm just trying to podcast.
Shannon Briggs got to fight with you. Now you emotional.
Yeah. And man, yeah, I got everybody. I got everybody flaming me, man. Everybody coming. I can't even turn on my Instagram without him making fun of me. Now I'm here with my boys.
Who's making fun of you on Instagram?
Shannon Briggs.
Oh, we gotta fuck him up.
We gotta
bro.
fuck him up.
Let's go.
Right. Hey, I ain't gonna lie though. I watched it, and then just the last clip just got me. I was like, yeah, that was good. It was funny. I was fucking.
You gotta get your team on it, bro.
I need to find somebody.
I'll start making memes tonight.
Hell yeah.
I just get nervous. I don't want to rile up Shannon Briggs and make him more
Fuck,
more
he just-
dangerous.
What's he gonna do?
He just-
Rampage
he
and
just-
whoop his ass.
Bro, he just super silly. Like he'll make fun of me and
Super
stuff like that.
what?
Silly. He'll make fun of me and stuff. Then at the last scene, he'll cut to my boots and make a funny song. Just one leg, just one boot.
He's good. He's good with that. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna champ.
It ain't him. It ain't him. He got
on
some
it all
got-
day.
he's gotta have
Hey,
time.
he's on it
Unbelievable.
all day. There's no way it's him. Hey, right here we have Michael Chandler, Justin Gaethje, number 6. Amazing fight. Gaethje was coming into this fight ranked number 2, I think, and Chandler was number 9. I don't remember. Hey, what was Chandler at? 5 or 9? 5.
5.
Yeah.
Huh? Damn. You know what? You see here at Gaethje, like these fights, he fought this way a long time, but the last couple of fights, he's really grown. He's like he's become more like he's not such a brawler and more very he's very strategic now. His shots, he's mixing it up. He's a much different fighter than he is now. And these other fights he had, and you see how he picked apart Dustin Poirier. He's really seeing and adjusting. And adjustment, I think, is the biggest king thing with the champion. This is a stand up perspective because it's a different fight when you go into a guy can grapple like the way.
Is Gaethje a wrestler or a striker?
Yeah, he was a wrestler. He wrestled in college, and then he got into fighting.
He was a good wrestler in college.
Yeah, he was a good wrestler. Yeah.
What
I mean,
is
both
it-
these guys are wrestlers.
What is it
Chandler wrestled at Missouri.
Yeah, what is it about Michael Chandler that he's sitting on the sideline so long waiting for this McGregor fight?
Well,
He
he
just
wants that
wants-
payday. He wants that cheddar. He wants that bag.
Do you think it's that big of a payday? I think everything's structured. It's not like he's getting pay-per-view points now. So I mean, but it's.
I mean, why? Well,
it's-
I guess the publicity.
the publicity of winning would be everything, but I think McGregor's he's enjoying making Michael his puppet.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that's he's never gonna let that
great
fight
point.
happen, but he's just puppeting.
That is a great
and he,
point.
and he loves that.
Rampage, you know a lot about pay-per-view points and getting fights that are big. I mean, Michael Chandler's sitting on the sidelines for almost 2 years now. Hey, Vinny, how long is the timeline? He's been out 2 years and 3 months? Or is it more? I mean, got it. And he's waiting for this McGregor fight. And, I mean, he's missing a lot of opportunity, a lot of prime of his age. You think it's worth it?
No, it's not worth it because you can't get that time back. You should. Why you wait for McGregor? I know you don't want to lose, and risk losing a big payday, but you got to think about this. I don't think we will see McGregor come back in there. He's too rich. Why you want to do that?
He keeps talking about it, keep training. The next thing he's out partying his ass off.
Yeah, you don't want to.
God
Sounds
bless.
like someone
God
I
bless.
know.
I mean,
Sounds like someone I know.
I don't know.
You don't want to.
Train all day and party all night.
What is McGregor worth? At least like 200 mil.
No, 500, 600.
Yeah. So what? So what he gonna come back? What he gonna make to fight? What the UFC gonna pay him?
It's not about the. If he comes back, it's not about the money.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just about his own
Oh.
ego and wanting to do it.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see that movie Roadhouse is coming out, dude. I think it looks badass.
Yeah.
The previews look sick.
He looks
Yeah,
sick.
man.
He looked like he did a good job.
I don't think he was acting though. I think that was him. I think McGregor just went out.
Are you
like
are you
this
hating a
big
little bit? Are
No,
you
wait,
hating a
dude.
little?
I feel like-
Rampage don't
I'm a
like it
fan- I'm
because
a
he's
fan
the
of
only a. He's been the only A list.
No,
You've been the only A listers
No,
thus
no,
far.
no. That's not true. Randy Jackson. Randy Couture.
The guy
Randy
from American
Couture?
Idol?
Randy Jackson.
Randy, yeah, but you were saying things, man. Randy never really Randy was a face, but you actually had
Was he in
roles.
Expendables?
Yeah. No. What I'm saying, I'm not
Like
talking
30 people in that movie.
Yeah, what I was saying, I was giving him a compliment. That's the best part. That's the best part of a performance when you don't have to act. Real. No, why you trying? I'm a big fan. Hey, real
I
talk,
mean,
I'm a big fan of McGregor.
I mean, he
I
for
don't
sure.
care
Like,
who
I wouldn't
knows.
say.
McGregor or Couture? We're talking.
No,
I'm a
you've
big fan
talked
of
good about
McGregor.
McGregor.
I'm a big fan of McGregor. I don't care who
Listen,
knows.
be honest with us. Be honest, completely honest with
Okay.
us. Did you love doing the A-Team in the movies?
Yes.
Well, that's a trick question.
Well, how is that a trick question?
You said, did I love doing the A-teams in the movies?
No.
Did you like being an
Did you
actor?
like being in A-Team and movies?
Yeah.
Okay. It's not, I'm not tricking you.
I had to think about that.
Yeah, okay. So what he's saying is, as someone who's been to that level, you can imagine what McGregor is going through. Hundreds of millions in the bank and making a movie and wants to come
I
back.
ain't never made hundreds of millions in the bank though. If I would have made, honestly, I love
made
I
10
love
million
fighting.
to fight Chuck Liddell.
If I love fighting.
Jesus.
I love fighting. I love fighting, but I wouldn't. If I would have made hundreds
I
of
got
millions,
the contract.
if I would have made hundreds of
You had the
millions,
contract. You weren't even born
let's
back
be
then,
honest.
bro.
Anybody, let's all be honest. If you worth hundreds of millions, why you gonna fight? I love it though.
Look,
I don't know, man.
It's
If I
the
was
training.
healthy, like you can't. Okay, like now that I'm forced out of the sport and I can't fight right now, I fucking
Hey,
miss
should
the
I answer
walkout.
this?
Who is it?
Yeah, answer it.
You're right, favorite.
I miss that fucking walkout. I miss the fear of coming out and walking out in front of everyone, and like you'll never be more alive than walking out for a fight. I don't care what you do. I don't care what big deals you make, what entrepreneurial stuff you got going on. Yeah, it's all exciting, but you can never be as alive as you are in a fucking fight. In that ring, the way you feel, it's better than anything.
Yeah,
You know?
Yeah.
And yeah, the lifestyle sometimes is hard and it sometimes does suck, but missing that fucking time inside that cage it's fucking crazy.
See, that's why I always look up to the floor. I'm like, how did he do it? How he got all that money? How did he keep getting there? But boxing is not as hard as what we. It's not as hard as what we do.
Not even close.
Yeah. You don't, yeah. There's just a lot more training that's got to go into.
You got to go sideways.
You gotta go
dog.
sideways.
I gotta send that to someone. They asked if we're filming. They don't believe me.
Who? Uriah Faber?
Yeah.
Anyways, this fight was sick. This was a good fight. You know, I mean, Gaethje's in all good fights. his style is just made to be a banger.
Have you ever fought Gay Cheese?
No, he's bigger than me. He's a 55er. I'm 135.
Would you ever fight a 55er?
I mean, I walk around 75 now.
Do you really? Let me see.
My stomach.
You still got abs.
Shredded, damn.
How you bigger than when you fight it and still got abs?
Well, I don't have to train a bunch anymore. You know, I don't have to go and burn fucking 4,000 calories a day to get ready for a fight. All I'm doing is a little bit of meathead stuff, PT on my shoulder. I'm on some good peptides, you know, trying to heal up. So that obviously helps as well too. Yeah, just feel.
If
healthy.
if everything come back to normal and you still feeling good, would you get back in there and fight at 55s, or you'll cut all the way back down to 35?
I'd probably go, because if I start training again, I'll be walking around probably in the 50s. You know, if I start training hard all the time, like, you know, grappling and striking, kickboxing, and I train like 2-3 times a day, I'm naturally just going to be a smaller person. You know, so I'll probably still go 35s, but I unfortunately don't foresee that ever happening in my future, man. Like I'm afraid that I'm going to be one-armed man for the rest of my life.
Has anybody ever come back from an injury like that in the sport?
No one's had a shoulder surgery like this before.
Were you the first of the kind to get a whole?
No, I mean, the doctor that I've found, Dr. Itamura, he's the world's best shoulder specialist, and he's probably done like 51 of these, I think. It's very rare. I mean, what he had to do to me is a crazy fucking surgery. I mean, I can't even fucking lift my arm yet. It's been 6 months since surgery, so I unfortunately have to have another surgery. We went into that surgery expecting I had 2 torn rotator cuffs, my infra, my supra completely from the bone. The head of my humerus had to be replaced. But when he went in to do surgery, he realized that 3 of my 4 rotator cuffs were torn. My subscapularis was also torn. So he fixed it when he was in there, but not as good as he would have liked to. And so I just did a recent MRI and just found out that my subscapularis is torn. Needs to be anchored down. They might have to take a piece of my lower lat and put it in my shoulder.
Bro,
they already
scary.
took my trap.
It's scary. You know, here's the thing I think about too, coming back to fight, because I'm capable. My body's been through a lot, but like, you think about these injuries, and even if I was capable to come back and fight right now, the extent of that injury, and if you were to do something more,
Yeah.
where it's going to be later in your life, what's going to be your eventual decline is that injury. You know what I mean? If you can't wipe your eye, you can't do.
I'm gonna
this,
go
you
play
can't do
golf.
that. Yeah, it's like it's like that injury is forever going to tarnish you. It's only going to get worse at that certain age if you have something really serious.
Yeah,
and that could be your eventual decline in the overall outlook of this game we call life.
I'm no doctor, but can they do like a bionic arm and shit and put you like a whole?
Hopefully in 15 years. I mean, fuck, with all this AI science and shit. I mean,
technology's
look,
not
I
there
mean,
yet.
so I really was a candidate for a shoulder replacement, but once you get a shoulder replacement, you're toast, right? So I'm going for taking different parts of my body and putting it into my shoulder and hoping that I can still be somewhat of an athlete. Not saying that I'm going to compete again, but be able to wrestle with my son, play fucking golf, like go snowboarding, like do the shit that I've always loved to do. I'm afraid I'm never going to be able to do that shit again. And if I get this surgery and it works, I'll be deathly afraid to come back and fuck it up.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
like,
How many doctors have you seen for this? 'Cause I mean, like, there's like
Elatrosh. So when I was in college, I had one. Elatrosh, another. Kramer. I've seen 4 doctors.
4 doctors. Everyone told you the same thing.
You know, everyone's.
I mean, because you taking pieces of your body to other parts, that's crazy. Like they tried to almost do that to me to my leg. Luckily, I found some other
Was that from that staph?
opportunities from that. Like bad, my skin there was no like pliable tissue, and it kept pulling apart.
Yeah.
And I found a way to expand the current skin situation rather than then there was an infection. They were talking about doing muscle graft.
Yeah.
Crazy. I was like, there's just no way this is a reality.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Chandler got that dog in him though, man.
They both do. They both do, man. Both their styles are made for being entertaining.
Look at that. He dumped him. Then put his nuts on the back of his head.
Is Gaethje really as strong
I
of a
think
puncher as everybody says? Like, are his hands that strong? Everybody we've had on the podcast say that this guy's got the strongest hands in MMA.
I mean, he's got some power. You can see his feet are always planted. He's always ready to throw bombs. He's got good cardio. To me, it looks like he's got power. Obviously, never been punched
Is
by
that a
him.
no fear tattoo on his abs?
Yeah.
Wow.
No fear was the shit.
Wow.
I thought it was Bad Boy though.
Oh, no, that's bad boy.
That's Bad Boy.
That's bad boy,
That's
right?
bad boy or no fear?
That's Bad Boy.
That's bad boy with eyes. Is bad boy.
Yeah.
Remember
Yeah.
that? Remember the shorts? Oh, bad boy
Yeah, the
shorts.
Shogun shorts. Vanderlei shorts too. Vanderlei used to wear those shorts. Rampage just had an interaction with Vanderlei this weekend. I thought they were gonna fight.
You know what though? That was cool of Vanderlei. You know, I wanted to tell him like, look here, let's do this this rubber match over in the Middle East.
You think he really wants to fight?
He said he called me out. I said something about it. He replied, I think he want to do it. I asked him how much. I asked him how much it's gonna take for him.
You got all this in?
Yeah, I talked to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That night.
Yeah, we went down to see Vanderlei because Buffer wanted to talk to Rampage about being on the show, and they brought us down. Rampage said, "Yo, come over here. Let's go talk to this guy." Talk to Vanderlei. I said, "Yo, I need you on the show. I know you guys are gonna fight in the Middle East. It's gonna be a big fight. What do you think?" He was talking to Rampage, super into it. But I think he wants to kill Rampage because when we walked away, he did one of these to Rampage. And I was like, "Oh, damn."
He did that shit behind my back?
Yeah.
Yeah,
What?
He know better.
What?
Look.
He know better?
He know better. Listen.
Bear was like using the CIA. He was like,
has there ever been anybody?
Did you see that? I was like this.
Oh,
And the
yeah,
whole
he
internet's
did.
like, this guy thinks he's in Goodfellas. So the internet knows what I was doing. I was trying to tell him the money that we could give him
He
for
don't want
fighting
people
overseas.
he didn't want people
I didn't
reading
want
his
people to
lips.
read my lips, how much money we were offering him.
Hey, has there ever been anybody in MMA that fought each other 4 times or 5 times? Like,
I don't. You asked me that the other day. I don't
Yeah,
know.
Brandon Moreno and
Figueroa,
that's
that's
right.
been 4 times.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, so
4. That's 4.
Yeah.
Damn.
yeah, so
Wow, good
so
job, dude.
they fought each other 4 times.
I don't know.
So
Well,
this
you
is,
know.
this would be if we get it would be 5. Not a lot of people do that, and I think that it has to be done because he knocked me out one time and he stopped me one time, but I knocked him out twice.
So you guys are 2-2.
Yeah, but I think I got the best of him though.
Wait, 2
You
in
knocked him out
Pride,
twice?
1 in UFC, 1 in Bellator
Well, he beat me 2 times in Pride.
for the belt.
Yeah, for the belt. The first time was a belt, and the other time was in the tournament.
Got it.
One time he kneed me in the face like 15 times.
Mm-hmm.
And,
seen that one.
I've seen that one a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I watched that on repeat multiple times.
When he wants to get motivated when he goes to the gym, that's what he watches. He told me.
No, not like I've seen. I'm just saying we
He
talked
told
about
me
that
he's like,
one
I'm
a
going to
lot.
go in the gym and work out.
No,
He
because
watches that highlight.
that was a real depressing time in my life because you think about this. I had fought Chuck Liddell 45 minutes before, right? And I was beating Vanderlei, and they stood me up. They gave me a yellow card. I stopped. I paused in the game for like 3 or 4 seconds. They gave me a yellow card for stalling because they knew my game plan because they told me to take out Chuck, right? I was going to go down as the best fighter in the world if I would have beat Vanderlei, and so I that canceled out my win against Chuck. Like people, my coach was like, "Man, to be happy, man, you beat Chuck Liddell," but my coach, he didn't think I was going to beat Chuck at that time. We didn't even train for Vanderlei. We just trained for Chuck. He didn't think I was going to get past Chuck, and that canceled out everything. And he kneed me in the face 15 times, and I was after the first knee, I was already out of it, and I was just waiting for him to get tired.
That's a good
gotta
game
hurt.
plan, dude.
Just went into autopilot, huh? Just
Yeah,
like,
that's
I got
gotta
that.
hurt.
No, you don't feel it. You don't feel it. I got.
you had to have filled the 6th,
no. You don't
8th,
feel it.
10th knee to the face.
That's the thing,
No
man.
pain.
Like you're asking these questions about the hematoma and the pains. Like you don't feel pain for the most part, right? It's there, but you don't feel it because you have
That's
so much
crazy, man.
adrenaline going.
Can't wrap my head around that.
I had an unbreakable mouthpiece too. That would save me. Honestly, that would save me. I didn't get a concussion or nothing. Real talk.
Well,
No, I'm telling you.
I mean,
Well,
you for sure got concussed. Bro.
No.
I mean, you might not have felt it, but
No.
He said,
Yeah.
well,
What? Am I? You think because I'm punchy?
Pull that- no, you ain't punchy.
No, he'll be honest though. Am I punchy?
no,
I don't think you're that punchy, no.
no, I don't think you're
Why,
punchy.
why you didn't look me in the eyes when you
because
said
he's
that?
punchy.
I said that.
Do you think I'm punchy? Real talk.
No.
Why did he go like he ready to
Because
fight?
he's lying.
Yeah,
Because
he's
he's lying.
lying. Are you lying?
He thinks I'm punchy. Do
You
you
ain't
think I'm
punchy.
punchy?
No,
I don't
No,
think
no,
you're punchy. I think
no.
you're funny.
I think you've
I think you're funny and you're addicted to Asian girls.
What the hell?
you just have one track mind. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not,
yeah.
you're not punchy. It's like you get distracted, but I think that's been there the
You
whole
like
time.
girls, you like tres leches, and you're funny. So when you put all those together, it could come off punchy. but
Vinny's
it's not.
giving us the sign. He's like, "Hey guys, we're here to
Are we
talk about
good?
the fights."
Yeah, we really covered these fights well, haven't we?
Yeah. It's like a barbershop, dude.
I will have to admit, I did not watch this fight.
Do you watch this fight?
I did not.
This is Rampage's boy, Dustin
I
Poirier
think-
versus Max Holloway. But this is part 2.
I love Max Holloway.
I'm a huge fan of Max Holloway.
Max Holloway got bullied in this fight. He just fought a bigger man. He's not used to it. That's why I'm like this fight against Gaethje.
He hurt him right off the gate.
I don't like that for him at all.
You don't like gay cheese?
I just don't like this fight for Max. I think he's a big man. I mean,
Oh,
Max.
you're talking about the BMF belt.
yeah.
Yeah, the upcoming fight.
I
So
mean-
Max Holloway's going to fight Gaethje in the upcoming BMF belt.
But I think he's had enough off time to get big enough for 55s. This one was kind of like a last minute thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, he looks small here.
Yeah.
It's a dog fight.
Jesus.
I never watched this fight.
Poirier's got hands.
Yeah, Poirier's got good boxing, dude.
But his chin's up though. I fighters don't chuck that chin. Look at it. Every time he punches, his chin come up.
Yeah, it does. He can throw some weird
Counter.
shots.
All you gotta do is counter. The punch they don't never see coming. That's why the cover roll was so good for me.
That's what Michael Johnson caught him with. Big counter.
Why? Because the counter outweighs the negative defense.
No, you don't see it coming.
Here, and then the retraction back is different. You know, it's like
And the punch
can't
that
come back. If you come here, boom, everything comes back. It's like here, everything's slow.
And the punch you don't see. That's why I got knocked out with Fedor. I didn't see that punch. He's so fast. I didn't ever see it coming. And you just go out.
How do you practice? Like, how does someone train for counter technique when they're just like hitting against a bag? Like, do you have to spar to really practice that timing?
Sparring as well as like doing like Dutch drills.
What's that?
Like it's like light sparring kind of. It's like drill sparring.
It's kind of like the Dutch oven.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly what it is. You fart, you pull it over your head, you fucking shadow box under the blankets and shit.
Shit, I ain't training.
No,
this.
like Dutch style drilling's like where you and a partner do some kickboxing drills and you catch his punches on your mitts. Like your gloves, or you turn them into like mitts. No. You catch his punches and return punches back, so you guys are always.
You feel.
Yeah,
you get the real like
see it,
similar
feel it.
feel.
Luke, do you hear
without
that?
getting punched all the time.
Do you hear that? It means like, let me learn a little bit, not just dismantle me in front of the whole gym. Do you hear that? That's when we drilled
you
tonight.
whipped his ass.
Yeah, he did in front of everybody last week.
You just like to spar. You don't know the Dutch drills. Dutch drills is I grew up on this stuff.
Yeah.
No, I am, but UFC TV walked in last week and Luke went from trying to teach me technique to dismantling my jaw.
Bear, we're supposed to be talking about a fight right now.
God, I just like that.
So I think the biggest thing here
you,
on the
TJ.
fight, this current fight that we're watching,
Thank you, TJ.
I think is the fact that like Max just looks like he's getting bullied. He's fighting a bigger man, and
He's holding his
he
own.
can't hold him off. I mean, nah, but look at that, bang, bang, bang. It's just
What do we think about Max Holloway's career as he goes into this BMF belt?
I want him to fight Topuria.
Oh, wow.
That's what I want.
yeah.
I think that's the
It's a weight
fight.
class.
That's a great fight.
That's the weight class. He should fight Topuria. That's where like Topuria's trying to talk about how there's no one in the weight division. It's like, bro, you forget about Max Holloway?
Yeah, I think they
that
should.
motherfucker's a legend. Like,
If the UFC was smart, they'd scrap this fight with the BMF belt, bring Max back down to fight that fight because you didn't get the right perception of Volkanovski in this fight. I think he fought so scared. He came back way too soon. We've never seen Volkanovski fight like that.
No.
Max won't do that.
Wait,
Max
can we
will
break
bring
that
the
down
fight.
a little bit? Break that down a little bit. I want to unpack the Volkanovski comment. You said that multiple times at the fight. He came back scared. You've never seen him fight like that. You were.
He came back from a heavy knockout on a very short return notice, and so your brain needs the chance to heal itself. You're bruised out, and just your mental, your focus of being into training and knowing you can take the shots and knowing you reestablish that reset factor. He came in so soon. He just thought he could just be the old Volkanovski, and he just didn't have it. You could see it right off the bat.
Yep.
He was hesitant. He was scared. He was popping up on his heels
Yep.
and
what we
never
call
seen anything like that.
You know what we call that? Gun shy.
Gunshot,
So
yeah.
this is the thing I've been saying for a long time. Pride was good about this. You come off an injury, you come off a bad knockout. If they like you, they give you a warm up fight. And for some reason, UFC don't do that.
well, he was a
Biggest
champion.
stars. It don't matter.
I mean, you're defending your belt.
I mean,
you don't get
it
to
don't
choose.
matter. It don't
He
matter.
went up the weight class and fought.
It don't
he
matter.
only lost at the light
You saw his last
the
fight
middleweight.
before that. He got kicked with a head knockout right there,
Yeah.
right?
at the lightweight championship.
Right, and that was a bad knockout
Yeah.
for anybody.
Yeah.
It's like getting hit in the head with a baseball bat. You need to come back with a warm up fight.
But when you're the champion, you don't get warm up fights.
I don't give a fuck. In
What do you
Pride,
mean?
you did. It's a woman. You see a human.
Okay,
You
well,
still got to say-
that's
you
fucking
see-
Actually,
lame.
you know what?
That's fucking lame.
No,
That's
it's not.
true. That's
It's
true.
not.
That's true. They would have champions fight non-title fights. I've seen that before. Yeah, for sure.
You can fight an exhibition or something, but dude,
But they can't. do
that's
that.
why the
That just
UFC is
doesn't-
the best because you're fighting the best.
So let me tell you this then. This is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Your warm up fight don't have to be in the UFC. Your warm up fight can be in gym. You motherfuckers
Yes,
rich.
agreed.
Y'all millionaires. Y'all make enough money. This is what you do. You know you're gonna fight and you start your camp 4-5 months out and then you fucking pay a motherfucker to come and fight you in the gym.
Yeah.
Because you get your warm up fight out the way. It's all mental. Everything fighting is 95% mental.
Yeah, I agree with
You
you.
got to get this shit out there.
100%. You got to let it go.
I think that I agree with Luke that he maybe came back a little too soon, but then everyone was saying that as well too. So when everyone's saying that in these interviews, you're gonna, even if you didn't believe it at first, you're gonna start subconsciously hearing everyone's voices like you're coming back too soon. This kid Topuria's got power, and so you're second guessing yourself as you get into that cage, and that's the way he fought, because he didn't look like himself.
Yeah.
But I want to see him fight Max Holloway. Is what I want.
Yeah,
to
I mean, who else is there in the division for him to fight?
You got Ortega. You got
Nope.
Yair Rodriguez.
Nope.
He already beat Josh Emmett.
That'd be a sick.
They gotta pull Max back. There's
Yeah,
nothing. There's
exactly.
nothing else to really like.
Exactly.
And
Max is
then
the
that can prove Max too. Max has a chance to solidify himself as the best, as one of the best ever
Yeah.
to do it. If he's able to beat him, he could,
I
can
think-
take that top spot back.
Exactly, and especially because like those fights between Max and Volkanovski were so fucking close. Like I actually had Max win in one of those fights.
Yeah.
Did
and
you
they
have Max
gave it
winning
to
this one?
no. Mm-mm. Well, I didn't watch this one.
Max lost this
I
fight.
didn't watch this
Max
one.
lost this fight.
Was it?
I remember that fight. Well,
So next on the list, number 8, we have John Jones and Alexander Part 1.
I never watched this one either.
This is a good fight. So this was like John Jones and like being untouchable for the longest time. And no one gave Gustafsson a chance to come out and get the win. And I actually think Gustafsson won this fight.
That's what I heard.
styles make matchups.
Yeah. He's long, just like, so that's what Jones gets away. Is like his body style is so like untypical for MMA fighter. His limbs are so long.
Does anybody have a clue how much money Gatorade and Nike paid him for those shorts for John Jones?
I bet he got paid a lot of money. I heard it was big.
Yeah.
He's the man.
I mean, it's Nike.
That's crazy to have just a Gatorade logo and a Nike logo on your like Muay Thai looking shorts.
yeah.
Because these were off, like these are non-UFC deals too. You know what I mean? This is the time where he was able to actually get they paid a fee. There was a tuition fee that the UFC implemented to where if you want to sponsor these athletes, like to come in, sponsor John, they had to pay
UFC 500 grand.
They had to pay 100. It was It was 100 grand for some, and then it would scale.
Well, it depends how big your company
It was
is.
scale.
Wow.
Like I
They
guarantee you,
scale it
Nike
to
had
the
to pay like $500,000 or something.
So he would have probably got more, but he probably got like $1 million, and they probably paid Nike Nike
Yeah,
probably paid the
yeah.
UFC 300.
That's unreal.
He poking, eye poking.
Who?
Jones.
He was eye poking?
Yeah, eye poking. Every time you come in on it.
Oh my.
This fight was sick. This is where Jones hit some like spinning elbows and stuff. This fight was good.
I just noticed something John did when Gustafsson tried to take him down. He threw his hip in there. You ever seen people wrestle like that? He tried to block the.
when they shoot, that's the counter. Instead of sprawling, you hip
yeah.
into them and lift their face up.
It didn't work for him though, but that's good that he did that.
It's almost like you're punching them with your hip.
Yeah, it works a lot.
It works
of
real
times.
good.
You know, John was desperate when he was looking for that takedown. He's frustrated with this.
Yeah, you never seen that.
Hey, he's running all over the damn cage
What
looking for that.
makes John Jones wrestling so dominant that when people take him down or they try to take him down, he's able to just reverse everything? It feels like.
It's like wrestling a spider. You know, one of those daddy long legs. you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It is hard to wrestle like a guy that's really tall, and it's also hard to wrestle a guy that's very short. It's like he's like you lift his leg up and he's able to keep his balance and stand so easy. You know?
John was a really good wrestler.
Yeah.
He just didn't go to
D1.
the extent. I mean, he had an opportunity to go D1. He just quit and transferred over.
What you just said reminded me of when I was wrestling in high school and in our circuit. It was a guy there. He was a little person. And he was out there wrestling. I remember people did have problems with him.
You couldn't get underneath him.
Yeah,
you know,
I
because the
mean-
center of gravity is so low, so it's hard to get under those
Yeah.
guys. Vice versa, the guys that are really tall, you pick their leg up and they're just like standing.
Yeah, he
chilling,
didn't get a fuck. He was a cool. I remember he's the first little person I ever met in my life, and so he was
And he
real
was
cool.
in your weight class?
No, I was 171.
Saying, little person in your weight
No,
class
I
is
was
crazy.
171. He was a little guy. He used to they used to ask him, do you think, do that? He used to kick himself in the forehead.
What was that? Igor Volchenshin?
It was
He's a little
high
guy.
school. Oh no, he was way taller than that.
One of my favorite fighters of all time. Igor was fun.
Yeah,
He was fun.
yeah.
Little
That was
badass.
that was a 2 weeks notice fight.
2 week notice.
Igor Volchanski.
Yeah.
I took him on 2 weeks notice, and I went up to Big Bear, and it worked for me, cause I'm blood type B though.
That don't matter, bro.
It does matter. My blood type.
So what does that mean?
Hey, it's science.
It's science.
Rampage
Well,
breaks.
well, listen.
breaks science.
Listen, well, I'm not supposed to.
I love your science.
I'm not supposed to know shit.
Rampage-
because I joke around all the time.
It's
No,
a-
but
they're-
what does that have to do with it?
It's just like
Look-
healing. It's a placebo effect.
Look, no. You guys look up
Placebo means fake.
Look up all these different things about your blood type. Your blood type can really determine what type of person you are and what foods you can eat.
Agree with that.
And yeah, all the
But it's not
different
going to
things.
change anything about altitude.
Yes. And my blood type is from the mountains.
What does that mean though?
It's from high
It
altitude.
means he's a billy goat.
So you think that somehow makes you have better breathing than
yes,
all of us?
Yes. I adapt well to a high altitude.
You a wolf.
He was adopted
wolf.
by wolves. And where do you think it all came from, right?
I'm
Come
a
on.
wolf. What? I'm not supposed. I'm not.
Give us
supposed-
give
I'm
us
not-
a
I'm
give
not
us a
supposed to
woo.
know
Give us a
anything about
woo.
myself.
Rampage, give us a woo. Give us one of your woo.
Hey, give us a shut the fuck up.
Hey, let us know where you came from.
I only see John Jones winning. I didn't see how they thought Griffin won this motherfucker.
You know what John Jones does well? He comes back at the end of these fights. He always wins the fifth,
I didn't see
the
I
fourth,
didn't
and the
see
fifth round. If he loses the
Jeez.
other ones, and that's what champions are made. I think the fifth round should be weighed heavier than the previous four.
Bro, I think
How you finish the fight?
Yeah, it's how you finish a fight. Honestly, I think there should be some like kind of implemented
You're in the championship
weight bearing
rounds.
on the champ. The fourth and the fifth round should be weighed more than the first two. Three.
It's so crazy because that reverse, like that elbow that he just threw, he just finished showing like a soccer team in New Zealand or Australia. He just finished showing them that technique. How he goes for the double leg, he fakes it, then he comes up high. Unbelievable right here. So he's gonna go for the shoot. He comes in, eat it.
How does he eat that shot? That's
Wow.
right on the forehead.
Yeah,
If it was anywhere else, he'd be
splits your wig in half.
I know this. I know this was edited. So, but from what I've seen, I don't know why people saying Gustafson won.
You got to watch the whole fight.
Okay,
Yeah.
I see John's all knotted up.
Here's
in
the
first-
fifth round.
Oh yeah,
He's putting it on now.
Well, I
It
guess
seemed-
maybe at the time too, because John was like untouchable,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
And then
Right.
Gustafson's like the first time they gave him like a
Right.
good fight, so it's like that weighs into people's eyes as well.
right. That's what I see.
You know, cuts weigh into the judges and people's eyes so much. People weigh those things that they just don't.
I know, but listen to what he
Emotionally,
said.
yeah.
I agree with what he said 100%. Nobody, I couldn't even hit John. I couldn't even hit him. I was trying to knock his ass
He
out.
picked you apart. He was like,
Hey,
he's like,
Whoa.
he stylized.
okay, tell me,
He stylized you, Will.
tell me about how I got my ass kicked by John Jones.
I
Even
mean-
though I didn't
he
fucking
just like-
ask you. Tell me about it.
He just like he made you think here and he went there. He just was one step ahead.
He's like the Magic Man. He's like, look up.
Hey, da-da-da.
Look
So
over here.
so he shaked and baked me.
He's shaking me.
So you got shaken baked by John Jones? Is that what we're saying here?
That's what he said. He magic man me.
Yeah, you're like,
Oh, just break it down my ass kicking. Break down all my ass
Pull
whooping.
up John Jones Rampage. Just don't show any bad parts. We're gonna break it down real quick as a bonus.
Just don't show
So
any
for
bad
number
parts.
9, we have GSP and Carlos Condit, and then we have
Why y'all breaking down my ass kicking?
you brought it up.
yo.
You
brought it up.
brought it up.
You brought it up.
Did I bring it up?
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
Number 9, we got GSP and Carlos Condit, and then we're gonna go into Rampage last.
Roger, did I bring up my own ass kicking? Okay.
Yeah, hey, most people they would like to watch the fight and not hear. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna
like
side on the fact that Robbie Lawler, Carlos Condit was way better than GSP. Carlos Condit.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Did you watch this fight, Rampage? GSP and Carlos Condit?
No, I don't think I wasn't a big fan of Carlos Condit.
Why not?
Really?
I just wasn't a big fan of
The
him.
Natural Born Killer?
Oh yeah, I was a fan of that one.
That's him.
Oh,
That's
okay.
him.
Oh, I didn't even know him by his real name. I just know about Natural Born Killer. All y'all white folks look alike.
That's what they were saying at the fight. They were like, "Is that really Luke Rockhold?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Man, I can't tell."
There's a combo that we call in Dwayne's system after Condit. We call it the Condit. And it's one of the combos he hit on George here and almost knocked him out. It's where he throws a right hand, he rolls, dips his head, and throws a rolling left head kick and almost finishes George. And that's where we call that combo here off of Condit. It's pretty sick.
Looks like GSP is super tense. Is that just
Condit-
his fighting style?
Condit, I never like was a huge fan because he does throw awkward angles, but he throws so much variety, it somehow works. But if you see all his punches come from like here, they're like way out, elbows out, elbows
Not
up.
structurally, but sometimes it's hard to train for guys like that, though.
Yeah,
You know?
because the knees coming and everything else is coming. He does it all.
A little bit off the subject though. Could you guys picture GSP in board shorts fighting out there?
No,
Could never picture him.
not
in
at
there.
all.
They just.
Did he never wear board shorts?
I never seen.
I don't
him.
think.
Remember those little blue shorts he used to wear?
How you? I
don't know. That's why
How you remember something like
he
that?
just looks
Unpack
weird up
that.
there. He looks
Unpack
weird up
that.
there.
Unpack. Come on, Luke.
Yeah, Luke, you said something that we don't know.
I just remember. That's all I remember.
Do you remember those little blue shorts he used to wear?
I don't.
I don't.
Because I remember all the fights I remember is him and Matt Hughes.
Would you ever wear Vale Tudos?
Yeah, I did in the beginning of my career.
did you?
'Cause I was sponsored by
remember.
I was sponsored by a company called Octagon.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but the one embarrassing thing happened to me, and I was fighting the King Cage, and one of the cage thing was had like it ripped out and cut me and it cut a hole in my. Everybody saw half of my asshole.
Hell yeah. Your asshole? Not just your ass, but your asshole.
Can I Google that?
No, I shouldn't have said.
Let me
that.
Google that real quick.
I
Rampage.
shouldn't have said. That. I still got a scar on my leg from when the cage cut me.
Damn.
How about all the names back in the day, all the sponsorships? Octagon, Sprawl, Tap Out.
So aggro.
What else do we got?
Yeah.
Luckily, things have changed a bit.
Yeah.
Ground and pound, toe to toe.
Ground and pound, toe to toe.
Toe to toe.
Take down. Like,
Throw
what?
down.
Throw down.
Oh,
Yeah.
like what the hell? Come on.
We've come on, man.
Hitman.
We've
Can we get any more original here?
One thing about GSP, TJ, if you could break down to me the style, his technique, what made him so legendary? Because a lot of people talk about this guy being one of the best. Obviously, he had an amazing record, but style-wise,
I feel like he was the first one to do really good game planning.
Ooh,
that was the
a
combo.
bad
Rewind
game,
it. Rewind it.
That
for
was
me.
the whole thing that made the fight interesting.
Yeah, this is the combo. If you right here, let's see, he misses that one. He throws a right hand. He'll roll. Bang! See how he
Roll
rolls
down,
down?
yeah,
He
you
rolls
never.
down.
Oh, that was
And he
sick.
like looks
Low high
looks
kick,
down.
yeah.
That was sick.
Badass.
Can you do that? Can you do that, Luke?
Hell yeah!
I low hide him. I low hide him. I low hide. What's his name?
Who?
Anyways,
Costa Philippou. Put a nice cut.
Costa
on him.
who?
This Costa Philippou, this boxer dude, smoked him after I lost to Vitor. I came back.
that was in
and
San
knocked him
Jose
out.
too, right? I think I was on that
I
card.
was in Duluth, Georgia. Hey, get this one. That was the night
That's
when
when
I
the fight was.
bought him.
Was that Atlanta?
It was in Duluth, Georgia. I think you were on that card.
Yeah, I was. I fought
Okay,
Easton.
this
Yeah.
is the time this is the first time that Ric Flair, the Woos started.
Yeah.
This
Wait,
is
where
where
was
the
this?
Woos
That
started.
was in Atlanta, Georgia.
The Woos started in Duluth, Georgia. At our fight that fight night. Ric Flair was at the bar. So Ric Flair and R. Kelly both lived at this hotel on the top floor. Weird, right?
They was roommates?
No, hey, this one weird hotel outside of Atlanta, Duluth. They had Ric Flair and R. Kelly both had residency at the top floor. You imagine what the hell?
been going on in
What's
there?
been going on in
That's
this
a
place?
crazy duo.
Hey, that's crazy.
no, but
Hey,
they didn't know each other. They were
Ric Flair,
separate.
Ric Flair would be at the bar every morning, just pickling at the bar. It was the weirdest thing ever. And then they came in, and that was the first night that the woo started.
Yeah.
I remember after my fight, I gave a little woo myself.
Hell yeah.
What you mean? Ric Flair been doing woo before you was
But
born?
no, not
No,
at
in the
fight,
UFC,
though.
in the UFC fights. This was his first UFC
Now it
fight.
happens every UFC.
Yeah.
I think GSP was the first guy to start game planning, like really took it as a true professional to where like now most fighters are handling their careers like GSP. Like they're finding the right strength and conditioning coaches. They're finding the right coaches for everything. And he was a guy that did that first, game planned well, very well rounded. Like if you want to get better at wrestling, he went and wrestled with the Canadian Olympic wrestling team, like he was like the first guy to really start doing that before Rampage didn't like when people would game plan. He started doing it.
Who?
GSP. Remember you said you liked the old days because no one would game plan.
No, but I'm telling you something about GSP game plan. It wasn't boring though.
Well, towards the end of his career,
I don't know. I
We're in the
capped
beginning.
that.
Also-
I capped that because he's boring.
Where in the beginning, it wasn't. His game plan wasn't
Yeah,
boring.
he lost to Matt Serra and he
Got
became
super
boring.
careful.
It became boring.
So let me clear it up though. I wouldn't care about the Jackson's game plans if they wasn't boring. Because I have a short attention span. I can't deal with nothing boring. I just can't do it. I don't know why I'm like that.
No, I feel you. I mean, like same reason why none of us liked the Ian Gary fight, right? Because it was boring as shit. But that was his
Rampage
game
didn't
plan.
like the Ian Gary fight because
There was no strategy to
I got something against Ian Gary.
Yeah, what is it?
You went toe to toe with Rampage on the
He
internet?
called me a cunt and he called me stupid. Two things that I'm not.
You don't think you're a cunt or stupid?
I don't think I'm a cunt or stupid.
I think we need to get him in here and ask him those questions.
What's better? Let's ask the public. Would you rather be called a cunt or a cuck?
Cunt for sure. All day, dude.
Hey,
I'm a cunt.
hey, tune in and give us your opinion, please. Thank you.
But I thought listen.
What's worse? What's worse?
I thought black people, we don't use that word, right? So
Cuck?
No, we use that word. No, we don't really use that either.
You use cunt?
We don't use cunt.
Why not?
I don't know. It's just it don't affect us. You can call a black girl a cunt and she wouldn't even give a fuck.
Yeah, it's an English term.
Yeah. So but I thought it was only for girls. I didn't know it's like him calling me a bitch. You know what I'm saying?
No.
And that's fighting words where I come from. So if I
Yeah,
see Ian Gary, he might be in some motherfucking trouble because you don't call no motherfucking man a bitch where I'm from.
You could go toe to toe with Ian Gary,
Hey.
an active fighter, undefeated in the UFC.
What? I would hurt his feelings.
Hey.
He ain't even he a little bitty motherfucker. Hey, my son, where he fought, my son would beat his motherfucking ass right now. My son would beat his motherfucking ass. Ian Gary.
How would you fight Ian Gary if you had to fight him in today's time in the UFC?
Hey, have you got? Man, I would just grab him by the neck and just bitch smack him. I just bitch smack him. He a bitch.
I bet. Don't quote me on this, but I bet once we get our ring in here, I bet we could get Ian Gary to do a sparring match off the books
I
or
doubt
on
that.
the books.
I doubt that.
I think he's got enough
Would you
confidence
show
in
up?
himself.
Would I show up?
He'd have enough confidence
Would
in
you
himself.
show up?
He would do. He
right
would
now.
do.
You show up if I got Ian Gary to come here for a sparring match, no cameras.
I sparred the kid
All right,
one
yeah.
time.
Well, how about with cameras?
Yeah.
I've sparred him one time, and he would.
Yeah.
I think he would. That would be the break. That's how we mend this relationship. I think that's the perfect way.
Wait, you said wait. Are you saying you spar Ian Gary and you say he'll take me? Is that
No,
what you
I'm
said?
just saying I
That'd be
sparred
the
the
best
kid.
way
I
to
think
squash
he likes to test himself, and he believes in himself.
I mean, he's
So
good
to
man.
some extent, but like
just because his last fight sucked, he is
that's,
good.
well, that's the only fight I ever seen him in. So first impression is a motherfucker. I'm not impressed with his performance.
I'm not impressed with your performance.
Number 10, McGregor versus Diaz part 2. McGregor obviously lost the first one. Diaz got the rematch clause. I hope he got paid. Wow, McGregor throwing hands. McGregor's accuracy is crazy. Diaz is a dog, though.
He's the guy that's got power. See, I mean, it's crazy how much power
look
he's
at
got in his
just
left hand.
that shot was with no
Yeah,
wind
no
up, no
effort.
load up, just put him down.
Yeah, they said McGregor got power though in his hand.
His left hand for sure.
He's a southpaw. McGregor left-handed.
Yeah.
So for what McGregor's accomplished in the UFC, is he a top 5 of all time?
For what he's done for the sport.
No,
man,
he's top one. He's top one.
No, what about as a fighter?
Yeah, top 5.
I mean, I wish he would have defended. If he could have defended his belts, like he would have been the GOAT. You know, if he would have went out there and defended and actually had some defenses, for sure. But I mean, what he's done for the sport's amazing.
Listen. Don't talk shit about McGregor. Don't you know I'm
not
his biggest
talking
fan?
He didn't say anything bad.
No, y'all can't say nothing. I'm his
He
biggest
didn't
fan.
say anything
All
bad.
right.
Yeah, you didn't know that.
Yeah. I forgot you had your knee pads on, bro.
Oh, hello. Hello. Yo, TJ's ready.
Son, you gonna let these guys talk shit about me like that?
Well, you're over here going crazy in the
brought
big
my son
hat.
over. I brought my son for backup.
backup?
Yo, hey,
Bodyguard.
Roger, come over here real quick. Say what up to the people.
For the peeps.
Yo, we got Rampage's mini-me in the house. He's the clone. Rampage calls him the clone right here. Say what up.
There, right here.
Rampage. Say what up. How long you been fighting? Right here. How long you been fighting?
Not too long, really. I just started.
Okay,
So
how
what,
long?
a
How-
year?
A year?
2 years.
Pretty much a year and a half.
And how many pro fights do you have?
Just one right now.
Want to know?
You fight in the United Fight League?
He
Yeah.
fought one time now, yeah.
I fought twice in the United Fight
you
League.
did?
One,
That's right,
one, once amateur, one pro.
And now are you going to continue fighting?
Yeah, of course.
You learning a lot from him?
Yeah.
He don't listen to me.
Are you vegan?
I'm not answering that question.
Is this the vegan one?
No, he's not the vegan one.
All right. So you're going.
Did you train properly for those fights? Do you feel like you put everything into it, or did you cut some corners?
For the last one, I definitely didn't train as much as I should have.
So why did you fight?
That's a good question. I really shouldn't have taken that fight when I did.
Who wanted to go pro?
I did, but
Rampage,
at the time,
I wanted him to get 10 amateur fights, but he didn't
I didn't
want
want
to
to do that.
He didn't want to do that.
I didn't want to do that.
I don't back that at all. I think amateur fights are the same as pro
pro.
fights.
They
You
are
just
the
gotta,
same,
but you
but-
have to train right, and you have to train with the right pros to be in the position to put your mindset
Yeah,
right. Because if you question yourself, right,
What?
training camp, if you
What?
question anything you've done in training camp, it's going to come out in the fight. That's what we always say.
Yeah, but hey, TJ, think about this though. You going out there and fighting, and you got a big target on your back because your dad did it before. When you want your son to get more experience, all the experience he can get, because once you go pro, you can't go back.
I had
no
this
more.
conversation yesterday actually with the manager, and in today's age, I do agree doing a longer amateur. When I was fighting, no. Right, but I also was a D1 athlete. I
Right.
competed my entire life. I knew wrestling,
Right.
so I had that like confidence in who I was. But if you don't have like a background in some
Right.
sort of martial art and you haven't been training your entire life and you're just getting into fighting, yeah, you should take
Right,
like
he
10
started at 17.
You should be taking some amateur fights to really get better.
23 right now.
Get comfortable in there, right?
Yeah.
That's my opinion in today's age, because these guys are starting fighting without. Like, I'm glad that I didn't get into the UFC until I was 24 years old. I became a man. I grew up. I graduated college. I had this background in wrestling. Like, if I would have gotten into the UFC too soon, I don't think I would have had as long of a career.
Let me see how you look with this head on.
So, hey, before you hop off, when's your next fight?
Hey.
When's your next fight?
I don't know yet. I gotta think about a lot of stuff before I, step back in there.
Do you want it?
He's
Do you want
reinventing.
it?
He's
Do you
reinventing
want
himself.
it?
Of course,
Do you want it?
of course, like
Yeah.
it's not even a question.
What's your style? What do you like?
I like everything about it.
No, I mean, like you got to pick an area in the fight that you like best, right?
Yeah, but see that for me, wherever the fight goes, that's where the fight goes.
Man, he can submit. He can submit. He can knock people out. He can wrestle.
I just
He can
want to be able to
slam.
be prepared for whatever happens.
Well, guess what? We got a nice little gym being built out here. I'll be in here. Rampage will be in here. Welcome to get your ass in here and get to
Okay,
work.
Yeah, I'm down.
I'll put you through the ringer.
Okay, yeah.
Let's go,
It's
man.
time to get serious. So we got Rampage's clone, and we're gonna get him in the gym now. We got Luke, we got Rampage, we got TJ, we got some of the boys in here. I mean, hey, people are gonna be banging in here every week. We got a new coach for Rampage at
Every
nighttime.
day.
He's
Every
flying
day.
over. We got
'Cause that's what
Rampage's
it takes.
coach Bobby's flying over from the UK to get Rampage ready for Shannon Briggs. Hopefully, we get the clone on the fight too in Qatar.
Let the man be his own self.
Yeah,
Let the man be his own self. Let him do his damn thing.
I'm letting my son make his own decisions. He's his own man. I learned a lot from when Shane Mosley and Shane Mosley Jr. was here. I feel like my son kind of feel like he's living in my shadows.
Let him do his own thing. Yeah.
I want him, it's up to him. He's a grown man now, and he can whatever. I just want the best for my son.
Yeah.
You don't got kids yet, do you? He came from my balls, Luke. He came from my balls.
I know. I can understand how
You
that
know what I'm
feels,
saying?
but
When somebody come from your
you gotta
balls,
let him do his thing too. So.
you know what I'm saying? He came from my left nut.
Are you sure?
I'm sure I know he did.
The left nut. Why not the right?
Because
his right one don't work.
Yeah,
He's only got one. We got 5 kids though.
Yeah, my right one looked like a little prune.
You have one nut that's shriveled and one nut that's normal size.
Why you all about my nuts?
Well, you brought it up. So you have a shriveled nut and a normal nut.
You don't got shrill. I got one. I got one
One's a
big
little
one.
bigger than the other.
Wait,
One's
you
a
have one
little bigger than the other.
Didn't you see him when he was wiping it up there?
Yeah. Everybody was
Wipe-
making fun of you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wipe it?
because you had to use toilet paper to clean
Wipe it?
off your balls. when you-
Bear said it on the
Nah,
podcast.
no.
Bear, hey, Bear told a story. He caught you wiping your balls that you took a piss.
That means I got big balls because of the angle.
He said you pissed on your balls.
Hey, do you wipe from the front or the back, Rampage?
Oh my God. Hey, come on.
my God.
You're a front wiper, aren't you?
Hey, I got a
you come
Japanese.
from
I
there.
got a
Is that
Japanese
why
toilet.
you say? Hey, that's
What's
why you
that
say.
mean?
I got a Japanese toilet. It does everything for you.
Oh, I love those. A Toto.
A bidet.
Wait, so
Dude,
you
I got a
don't-
Toto.
You don't clean up after. You just let that
Guess
thing
what it
do
do?
its
Guess what
job,
it
and
do?
you act
Yeah,
like there's
guess what it
nothing
do?
hanging.
Guess what it do? It cleans you and then it dries you off.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's
So
still.
are you?
Bro, I'm telling
are
you,
You ain't
hygienic?
you ain't even gonna
Very.
double check. You ain't gonna like.
So you don't
You're a
use
front wipe.
wipies? You don't use wipies?
Yeah,
Bro, you'll never
man
be
wipes.
as clean as like the Toto gets you so fucking clean. You've never been like I don't want to travel. I don't want to use a toilet when I'm traveling because I miss my
change
bidet.
McGregor just won, and McGregor just won. Listen,
Can you imagine Rampage walking around all just like it's just all hanging, be like, "Yo, Toto didn't work, and I don't know how to clean."
I don't do that. Why they going there? See, look, what I'm saying. Look, Nate is the OG. He's my homie, and I want to see the rubber match. I don't care how much money McGregor makes. They need the rubber match before this end. You know what I'm saying?
If McGregor does come back and fight, that's the fight to make for sure.
That's the fight to make.
Yeah, I mean, no one really cares if he fights Chandler, right? Like
Right.
if he fights Diaz, it'll be massive.
Right.
Is McGregor's name because of the pull and the draw? Does he even have to come in and keep winning, or should he just keep fighting?
He should just keep fighting. The people that love him. He got a whole country behind him. Well, Ireland and UK. Is that one country or is it two different?
It's two.
It's a UK United Kingdoms.
Yeah, it's all of them.
But it's all together.
But
It's
I
like
don't think
it's like
North-
Africa.
I don't
It's
think
like-
that's part of it.
It's
I
like a
think that's
country.
great.
It's like Africa, where there's a bunch of different countries in a continent.
My weakest points of knowledge are history and geology.
Interesting.
Yeah, very.
So anyway, I saw Nate say put up something like he was ready to come back and fight. Is that something?
Hey, should
He
Nate
said
Diaz and
he said-
McGregor get a rematch?
They
No,
should,
it's
yeah.
Nate, I think he said something like it's like I'm really ready. I'm gonna start training now, like or something like that.
Yeah, I think
I would love that.
they should do the
Who do we
Something
want to
he's
see?
on.
Who would we want to see Nate Diaz come back and brawl?
McGregor.
McGregor.
Wow.
Yeah.
We don't want to see McGregor and Michael Chandler.
No, I wouldn't care about that one. I want to see this. I want to see him come back and get the rubber match of McGregor. That should be going down in UFC 300. That should have been the main event. Did they announce the main event already? 'Cause
Yeah, it's Jamal Hill and Alex Pereira.
which one is Jamal Hill? The football player.
No,
He's a football player.
You saw him at the fight. Him and his girl. You were saying, didn't you say something about how they were dressed
Ask
or
Luke.
something?
Ask Luke.
Yeah.
Luke goes, hey, Jamal Hill. Rampage goes, where? I turn around, I'm like, right there. We were saying what up to him because he's gonna come on the pod, and Rampage turns around and goes, "He fighting tonight? He on the card? Is he here?" I'm like, "No, that's him right there." And Rampage goes, "Yo, what's up?" And no clue what was going on.
No,
He's
this is-
sitting there drinking.
I just had a thought. The fight that's make is Chimaev and Diaz right now.
Oh wow,
Chimaev.
Yeah.
Calm
No,
down,
good. Chimaev
Oh,
avoided him.
yeah,
Dude, I'm saying that's a close fight.
Wow.
That's actually a close
He's
fight
right.
because Chimaev is scared to really like put it together and put his whole game.
Actually, he's right, 'cause
He avoided that fight. He avoided that fight for a reason. He missed weight for a reason because he didn't want to fight Nate. He wanted to fight a guy that didn't know how to grapple, and he found his way to a different fight. Something about Nate kind of made him a little fucking fearful.
Hey, you know what?
But he wins that, he can go back and get his rematch with Leon Edwards.
Do you know?
I mean,
what?
he thinks he can
Well,
get that fight. So
speaking
it's
of
like that's a
speaking of
fight that
Leon
should have
Edwards.
happened. If he wants to come back, that fight should happen. I think that's the biggest fight the UFC can make right now. Chimaev, Diaz, finally make it
Speaking
down.
of Leon Edwards, should he fight Bilal at the next fight?
I think he should fight Bilal, and then you can have Chimaev and Diaz.
Does Bilal deserve the title fight?
Bilal does deserve it. I mean, it's not the most marketing genius
Is that why he's
idea.
not getting it?
Yeah, 100%.
Because we just found out that who he's going to be fighting at UFC 300,
Who?
Leon Edwards.
Who he's gonna be fighting?
Leon Edwards not on UFC 300, is he?
No, I think that was a cap.
No, they said that they asked him to fight 3 different opponents, and he said yes, but the opponents didn't.
To all three, which means he's probably going to be on UFC 300.
Money, money, money.
I want to go.
Money,
I want to go to
money,
UFC.
money.
Oh, see, now he's excited. He got the bug back.
Yeah, I got the bug back. I never liked going. But listen, I'm gonna tell you guys.
I think that's probably that's Nate. That's why he probably is saying he wants to fight because he wants to be a part of 300.
Why do you want to go?
Dude, that was the best experience I ever had at any MMA event. The way you decked everything out, you gave the fans T-shirts. The fans was really nice, and we had the security there, and I really enjoyed it. I watched the fights. I want to get back into MMA, and I want to start back loving it and stuff again. And you know, I want to go to UFC 300.
As we wrap up this podcast, we're kind of all over the place, but this is what it's all about. We do this podcast for us, and hopefully they enjoy the conversation, and hopefully everybody out there enjoys the idea of us getting a lot of these MMA legends like Luke and TJ and guys that are part of the JAXXON brand to sit down with me and Rampage on these podcasts. We're doing this for you guys. Not always is it going to be structured. Sometimes we're going to just sit here and talk and put out content we like and enjoy our time with each other. We're all one big team, one big family. I kind of just want to leave it on this note. Right now, going into UFC 300, Rampage, you're falling back in love with fighting in the game. Do you have a specific fighter right now that you're most excited to keep watching? Someone that's really keeping you tied into the fight game right now?
No.
What about you, Luke?
I like that Tapor kid. I'm going to say that's current, relevant, but I liked him before, and I like him even more now. I mean, he's dope to watch. I mean, he seems to have it all, and I want to see it tested.
No, but real talk, I do want to see Nate get back in there. I'm always
I'm a big Nate Diaz fan.
I'm a big Nate
He's
Diaz
the biggest
fan.
dog. And
Yeah.
what about you, TJ? Anybody right now that makes you excited to keep going to these fights and
Nothing
being
in
excited
par-
about content?
Yeah, nothing in particular, but obviously I'm always going to watch the bantamweight division, right? And what's going on with that and how that's bouncing around.
I'm going to watch the division now. We know what it means.
The baby chicks.
Yeah.
I think Jamal Hill's fun to watch. I mean, there's a lot of guys that are fun to
Oh,
watch.
Tree Hill.
Yeah.
No,
Rampage,
no.
Rampage don't even know who he is.
No,
We were
no,
talking-
no.
I was like, hey.
Khalil.
Khalil Roundtree. That's
Right.
a different fighter.
Yeah.
Rampage.
Jamal
Tree
Hill.
Hill.
Jamal Hill knocked him out, I believe.
Jamal
What?
Hill is what
I
Terrence
think
McKinney.
Jamal Hill smoked him.
No, I bet he can't smoke him now. He went to Thailand and he
Bro, his Thailand style is so crazy. Like,
dude.
Hey,
he a
Khalil
different animal.
Roundtree put Anthony Smith in the ground and then held the hammer fist over him like, are you done now?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
he a different
he's-
animal now.
he's-
He a different animal now, bro. That's who I want to see his next
Let's
fight.
see him and Johnny Hill rematch.
Khalil Roundtree's
Yeah.
coming on the podcast in like 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, he coming.
Yeah, I think I think that's a good matchup. Rematch him with that what's his name? Johnny
I did a movie.
Johnny
I did a movie with him. I really
Johnny
like him.
Walker.
Oh.
Sorry.
What Roundtree?
Did you?
When?
What? When we do?
I thought you got blacklisted.
When we do that movie? Was it 21? Oh no, it wasn't. We're in 24 now. It was like 22. The movie we did together with AJ and everybody, and I was look like Suge Knight. Yeah, Lord of the Streets. No, y'all, Vinny, is he in it?
No.
Hey, watch that movie. It's dope. Lord of the Streets.
Oh yeah, you were a mob boss. You were like, you had the cigar.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to watch it.
I was like Suge Knight, dude. That was the biggest asshole I ever fucking played.
Hey, can you put on Lord of the Streets with Rampage Jackson? The commercial.
When does it say?
It was on Tubi.
Oh,
Yeah, it was on Tubi.
Look at me. Look at I look like shit. A Suge Knight.
Oh,
I was fat as fuck.
Is that what's his name from? Is that
Antonio Makisa.
That's
AJ
Trench
McKee.
from Naughty by Nature.
Naughty by Nature? Yeah,
He's cool as fuck.
yeah.
They put a lot of MMA guys in here.
When did this come out?
I don't remember. I'm bad with dates, but it was a dope ass movie, bro.
Oh, that's you with all the girls.
Yeah,
Of
I
course
had Gizmo in there.
Of course they put you on.
Wow, this is like
Khalil Roundtree was a star. He was a star of the movie.
this all filmed in Long Beach, or was this?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
This looks like a Long Beach nightmare.
it was. It's a too big classic, baby.
Oh, that's Khalil Roundtree right there.
Yeah,
They have any white guys in this movie?
How do you do in
yeah.
the
We
movie?
killed them all.
Oh my god! How do you do in the movie?
He did. He actually did. He actually did really good. The premise and his character was really good. He was in prison. I don't want to give away. He was in prison, but I got him out of prison to do these fights. And
you went and bought him.
Yeah, but he had to win all the fights in one night. And it was no rules.
Grand Prix, Pride.
Yeah.
Oh, that's you sitting at the table with your chain
Man,
on.
dude, I was the fucking man in this motherfucking movie.
You were a chain too?
Wow, Rampage never leaves a chair in this
Did you
movie.
get paid for this movie?
I had to pay. I'm joking. I got paid.
He said,
Khalil Roundtree had a real role in this thing.
"Hey, before we say, who is that? Cyril Gunn?
Lord of the Streets.
Hey, before we leave, like when you go to audition for a movie, they give you a script and you just sit there and you got to read the script still, or they know who you are and they're like, yo, you're good.
They don't give a fuck who I am. I go in there. I suck at auditions. I got to go in there, and this is the type of person I am. Even when I was champion, you come and watch me train at the gym. You couldn't even believe I was champion because I suck when it's not real. So I go in there, and you got to memorize the shit. You get it the day before, the night before, and you go in there. And you get ready to give it your performance, and then you go against. You sitting down against a lady with blue hair, and got another lady or a guy with glasses, and they got sitting behind the camera, and you doing your delivery. And we acting against each other, feeling like each other. And then she said, put your gun away. Please don't shoot me. No. And then you got to shut up, bitch. Get down on the motherfucking ground before I stuff a mud hole in your ass. Give me your motherfucking purse, hoe. And she said, no, my grandmother gave me this purse. Now, how you gonna audition?
You love
like
yelling
that?
at her though. You might made you feel good. to yell
Okay,
at her.
so right now, if we did a table read.
Let's do it.
Okay, we're gonna do a table read real quick.
let's
We're
do
gonna
it.
just try this. TJ, you just gotta ask me a question, anything about MMA. You're gonna ask me anything about MMA, and his job is to be the coach saying that we need to work harder.
All right, let's go.
We're gonna do a full table read. I want to see what
We
Rampage
acting.
does.
Let's go.
So I'm gonna say, TJ, welcome back to the gym. Exciting to have you here. All the guys are excited to train with you. Luke, what do you think about that?
Wait, what? I don't know.
No.
They've never been in a movie.
Let me
You guys
recalibrate.
never did the movie?
Let me recalibrate. Bear's training for his first fight ever. All right.
Okay.
Bear's training for his first fight. We're coaches, and you were like his long-term coach that just came out of the blue. Like
So
we're like his
I'm
new
Bear-
coaches.
I'm
He
his
left.
old coach?
He left. Yeah, he left you.
me.
He just got knocked out. Bear just got knocked out. Lost the championship.
So
he came back to
I'm
his
the
new
shit coach.
coaches.
I'm the shit coach. Okay.
And no, he's just
And he fired me. I'm the shit coach that got fired. Okay,
we
thank
just
you.
didn't really feel good about it, so we brought in you as like to bring back the nostalgia.
So he's bringing you back to bring me back because this is my first fight.
Also, I'm not the shit coach.
Well, you
we
were,
just-
but we're bringing you back for
We're
nostalgia.
going back in. We're going
right,
back
you guys-
in.
all right, you guys
He
go.
just lost the world championship.
All right, Luke,
He
who's-
lost another fight. Then he had this rare opportunity
Who's
to
my
come
new
back.
coach, Luke? Who's my new coach?
Me and TJ. TJ.
But I'd feel more confident if I had my boy back. My boy
No,
back
no.
from the first fight.
So
that I
hey, you
lost.
just came out. You
what
just
he
came
did
out.
last camp,
You just
though.
came out. You just came out of the cage, and you just got a hard sparring. You didn't do well. You feel down on yourself. TJ, break it down for him. You build him back up. You're a striking coach.
Okay,
Man,
action.
Your hands were up. You look good cardio. I think we're making gains, man. I think you're doing the right things. This fight's
I wish I
gonna
had
go our way.
Rampage. I wish I had Rampage.
Man, but you're not putting it together. You're not like you're striking. You're just going out there like a dog.
Yeah,
You're
but
not-
Rampage
you're
would've
not
really
You're
inspired
not
me.
mixing it up, man.
You guys just yell
You
at
should
me.
be way more broken right now. You fucking goddamn. You acting like an analyst.
Hey, chill.
You got to be broken.
Okay.
Get back into character here. What are you doing? Like,
right,
by the
hold on.
Rampage. I just want
I just want him to come in. I want to see him act. Luke,
Hey, you're
think
not
you're
even-
a director.
you're
The
not
guy
even
thinks
showing
he's
any
Spielberg.
emotion.
All right, you want emotion? God damn it, Luke, you suck at coaching me. I just got beat by a transformer, and it sucks.
Man,
man.
that's the worst person to get beat by is the
Rampage,
transformer.
you just came in.
Now you come in and you motivate all of our whole team. Here, you know
Rampage
what? Hey,
walks
stand
in.
up and walk through the door. He gonna be like, "Come in." You're gonna rally the whole team. Come in.
Bear,
Get
you
up,
cry,
get
start
up,
crying, Bear.
Get up. Hey, come from over there and walk in the scene. You gotta walk in the scene, Rampage. You're ruining this whole movie right now. This guy just spent the whole time. You ready for this?
He's in.
You ready?
I don't want Luke directing this movie. I gotta go take a piss. That was a good podcast today.
No. You ain't leaving unless we see what you would do. We just went through a whole movie.
Yeah, we don't gotta go nowhere. We right here.
All right, then go.
I didn't say
rally
go
us
out.
up. Rally us up.
Come in.
You gotta rally us up.
Build your boy bear.
I gotta rally everybody.
Build us up.
No, build your boy bear up. Not us.
All right.
Bear.
Hey, listen here, pussies. I'm not gonna be sitting around while y'all pussies footing around in this motherfucking cage. Y'all get y'all shit together. You train hard. When you go out there, you're not only representing yourself, you representing the whole team, the whole motherfucking crew.
My bad.
You know what I'm saying?
My bad.
You can't play this shit.
My bad.
This ain't fucking basketball, son.
We gotta do better.
You gotta get your ass out there and bust your motherfucking ass. I wanna see
Bust my
sweat.
nut.
You say you gonna bust a nut?
No, you say I gotta bust my nut. What'd you say?
How you gonna disrespect your coach like that?
Nah, I'm
see, that's
sorry.
why
I
you
gotta do better.
see, that's why you be getting your ass
I gotta
kicked,
do
son.
better.
You gotta listen, boy.
I gotta do better.